So I have to have the ring light. But if I have the ring light and you don't have the glass on, you go blind. So it's, it's a double-edged sword.
But I got the ring light, and I'm not wearing glasses.
Yeah, but yours is to the side. I'm looking directly at it.
No, I got mine right there. Look.
No, mine's literally right in front of my face.
You're more strategic, you guys. Yeah, but I'm looking directly at you're like.
Oh, I'm
side profile.
Yeah, I got you.
I got mine there.
Yeah. You're squinting already.
Should I just get some Ray-Bans? Should I put Ray-Bans on?
You missed his little bit of racism in there.
Did you miss
No, I didn't. I didn't miss it. I'm just used to it.
He just brushed it. He just brushed it off like he does nothing. Walked off a duck's back.
So me and James were texting about something else, and I said, "Who should we have on this week? Should we have who do you want to have on, Ian or Ben?" And he goes, "It's your call, man." He goes, "Vanilla or sweet and sour?"
You have some flavor in there.
I just said that's it. So just go whatever flavor you fancy this week.
It's like there's a little bit of racism.
When you ask the others who should I have on like this week, either James or Ben or James and Ian, what am I? That's what I wonder.
You gotta know what's English. I mean,
what are you eating?
What's the most English thing I could think of?
That's not a cookie, is it?
It is. It's one of Yannick. Well, listen, I am eating clean, and Patrick's like having a laugh at me because Patrick was like, "I bet you're eating really bad." I'm not. If you look at my stories, I'm eating really clean.
Mate, do you know how many fucking people grass me up? Like, Benzie, they'll message Patrick. I'm like, you sad cunts.
I think people have. I think people have with me as well because Patrick's like, I know you're lying. I'm like, I'm not. Like, if you look at me, I still look all right. This cookie's the only thing I've had today because Yannika's ordered this whole box for herself. And I don't ever get to eat with Yannicka because she's obviously intolerant. Yeah. So she insists that I try something that she has so that she feels like she's not left out. So how can I really just say no? So I've got half a cookie and a cup of coffee.
Oh, so you're doing it. Fucking rebel.
So you're doing it for her.
I'm doing it for love, Fouad.
That's right. That's what I would say.
Oh, this is the whole.
I couldn't decide if I wanted vanilla or sweet and sour, so I went with both.
Nice. They don't go together.
Ian, you're described as vanilla from now on.
Why?
Because I asked James. Me and James were talking about something else, and I said, "Who should I have on the podcast this week, Ian or Ben?" With you, and he goes, "It depends. Do you want vanilla or sweet and sour?" So you're vanilla, and Ben is sweet and sour for obvious reasons.
Isn't vanilla like you call someone vanilla when they're like boring as shit? You know?
No, but it's like it's
got a double meaning here, Ian.
Like if I was a flavor, I would be butterscotch.
Oh, okay. So I'm boring. That's fucking vanilla.
It's not boring. People love vanilla. It's like the
base.
I really like. Grandma loves vanilla, is what she.
Yeah, but vanilla is the base for.
To be fair, your surname and vanilla as well kind of bounce.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Sure,
that's true. That's true.
Good save.
And then Ben,
is that the Olympia top? Sorry, is that the one that I've ordered?
I bought one of those. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail.
I've ordered that exact one.
I thought you guys ordered. Thank you very much as well, Fouad, for ordering one. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Melissa's hard at work. See, we got all the shirts here.
Hey, that's a lot of orders, man. Good for you guys.
Oh, you should have seen yesterday. I mean, we got boxes full of them. Yeah.
Isn't that a nice thing when you realize, like, because that's what happened when I started Hostile. Like, I did everything myself on this little table.
Yeah.
In the corner.
Yeah.
And when I first put it out, I'm like, I don't think anybody's going to buy anything. And then everybody starts buying shit, and you're like, this feels pretty good. Like, people actually want to support you.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Yeah.
I'm going to go and fucking buy one now. Where is it?
No,
it's just you're peer pressuring me into this, aren't you? Fouad, what's your discount code? Because I want some money off it.
I didn't get a discount code. I surprise ordered. I didn't even tell him.
You have to.
What are we saying? What size? 3?
Friend gesture.
3 or 2? How big are they?
I don't think there's any 3s left in this, but I think is there 3s left in white?
No, but you're wearing a 2.
Yeah, this is a 2. They actually are big.
Oh, they fit bigger.
Well, they say oversized on the site, but they're like really oversized, yeah.
So Ben, you probably need a single X then.
Yeah, I'm going medium. Fuck it.
Medium, yeah.
I think I've ordered one that's too big. Then it's going to be like a fucking bed sheet. I think I ordered 3.
But when I wear the 3X, it looks almost the same as this. It's just the arms are a little looser. They're very similar. It's not.
Sometimes I like a big shirt like that. Like when
most of my stuff's oversized.
Like Redcon sent me a Luke shirt. Because I wanted one, and they only had 4X left, and I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah,
and I still wear it. It's comfortable. Like I'm good.
Well, like the shirt that Ben's got on, that's the Juggernaut one. That I think my one's a little bit like a loose fit.
Yeah.
And it hangs, but I like it. I do as well. I think it's
these Melissa ordered intentionally as like an oversized, so they are at least up 1 to 2 sizes. So like I'll usually be like a 4X to a 3, and this like I'm a 2 or a 3, so it's like up 1 size.
Are you guys? You guys are probably like me. You have a shirt for a certain body part, right?
For training?
Oh, yeah.
Like my biggest shirt, like my long shirts are always my back day shirts.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do like lat pull downs and have your like fucking.
I do my big ones on my leg days because I wear my spandex, so I cover my piece up with the extra long.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
like these are for the oversized shirts.
Yeah. Get a little bit of bell cover, don't you?
Antoine said that to me once. I was wearing my tights, and I was training legs, and he goes, "Don't you get worried when you like not worried? Don't you get self-conscious when you're wearing tights?" I go, why? He goes, "I can see your dick." And I'm like, "Why the fuck are you looking at my dick?" Like,
it's Antoine, so
You guys don't wear tights when you train legs, do you? Well, Ben does.
I have done. I like to, but I've just not done it lately. But there's no reason why I haven't, because I do like wearing them. I do think they're really comfortable.
What about you, Ian?
I have like Nike short tights, like shorts tights that are like, I don't know, like not super short, but like kind of, and I'll maybe bust them out like twice a year.
Really, eh?
Yeah, if I'm like super peeled and I'm like, I want to get some good pics when I'm training legs or something, I'll come out. But I'll usually wear like pants over them. And then like when I'm in the workout, I might like take them off for a few sets, but I won't wear them for a full workout now.
I always find that when you wear a pair of those, you feel like you're Sean Roden. I feel like I'm Sean. I feel like I'm Sean Roden.
But I like that. I like
Cedric
that
wears them for like every body part.
Cedric got that from me because I think I showed up. We were in Europe and we were going to train somewhere, and I put my tights on to go train legs.
To arms.
Yeah, to train arms.
Tights on to do arms.
And all of a sudden, Cedric starts wearing tights at the booth. He's just staying at the booth.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right.
He was he's wearing them at the Olympia, like backstage and the athlete meeting and everything. He just wears.
It's his favorite thing to wear. Yeah.
They are comfortable, to be fair.
Guy can't handle it. Guy gets upset when I told him I wear tights. Guy got upset.
I can imagine. He only wears really loose scarves.
Well, put it this way, Cedric. Guy.
Yeah.
Guy's gonna watch this.
if you got it, flaunt it, right? So guy's just hating.
What I told Guy, I said, if you're over 250 pounds, you're allowed to wear tights. I said, if you're under, you're not allowed to wear tights.
I like that. We will qualify. That's good.
Anyway, what's going on this week, guys? Anything new? Anything good? Ian, you're still prepping. How's prep going?
Good, great, yeah.
How many weeks out now?
5.5.
Is it boring? Does it suck coasting? Because my least favorite part of prep is when you're ready and you're just waiting to get on stage.
I don't think I'm at the coasting spot now. I think until this 6 weeks out I was, and now we're starting to like push the envelope and like come down more.
Yeah.
So I would have said, I was a little monotonous being in kind of that coast phase, but my training was really good and I was enjoying the training. I thought I was making progress within my training anyways. So I kind of had some small goals within that I was having fun achieving. Aside from the progression in my physique towards the Olympia, do you have to do that to keep yourself interested? Like, kind of set yourself little goals, like every week or every day, or how do you do it? No, I mean, not necessarily like such tangible things, but as long as I feel like, the intensity is there and I'm progressing in my training, at some level, that's enough to keep me motivated.
Do you have a logbook? Like, do you worry about? No, you don't do that. Okay, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think of what somebody, because I'm trying to relay this to people watching. I'm trying to think what somebody could tell themselves because 99% of people aren't getting ready for a show.
Yeah.
So they're trying. So they're trying to figure out how to stay, for lack of a better word, motivated.
Yeah, logbook it for sure. Then. Yeah.
So but I'm just trying to think of like, what do you tell yourself week to week to be like? I mean, other than the fact that it's the Olympia, just those little things that you tell yourself to keep that motor going.
No, and it's like even if it's not logbooking, like I still remember what I lifted the day before, or a week before. Like those, I don't even want to say this on here because this becomes such a fucking meme at this point with my goddamn deadlift. But with doing those, like I had some goals within like, hey, I want to do 8 plates, 9 plates, 10 plates, and I kind of want to do. It's like, okay, then you get to 10. Okay, let's do good reps with 10. Let's get 3 reps, 4 reps, 5 reps. So. And same thing in pressing or, exercises that, especially for me, and I think this is kind of with most people, I think with male bodybuilders is I find the first thing to go when I'm really starting to push down is my pressing strength, like my bench pressing, pressing. That's definitely the first thing. Like I can keep leg and back strength basically 100% or 95% right to a show, but my pressing strength goes. So that's been a big goal, especially for me when I was kind of in that maintenance period, to make sure I could progress within those lifts in some aspect, and you know, get that strength up as much as I can before we push down. So I was in a good spot from a strength perspective, right?
James, what's going on with you now? Now you're out of prep. How is your rebound? Are you able to control the binging, or what's going on?
No, I'm all right, man. I'm really good. Like I'm eating the meals that are allocated in the diet, and then if I fancy a little something, I have it. But I'm pretty good. I'm a bit more active than I normally am. I'm actually making myself go out for walks and, you know, still doing cardio. I am training, but I'm still training, but it's like, you know, it's very moderate and just fun rather than anything a minute. Obviously going through like a detox phase, doing my post-cycle therapy, which Pals he put together. And so I'm just feeling good, really, to be fair. I'm at the perfect place for me where I need to be mentally right now to feel good going ahead in bodybuilding. You know, and I get a lot of questions. Obviously, I've just put a video out. It's coming out at 5, which basically explains exactly what the plan is, which is obviously to not do the Olympia this year and just to do 2021. Just because, you know, to clarify, if I was to do this Olympia, I would have had to have just left the country just before the British. And avoided getting a qualification for next year, and I didn't want to lose that chance, so it was a toss-up between the two. So ultimately, it's like, what should I do? Qualify for next year or just go gung-ho for this year? I personally would have rather had the longer duration and then have more time to work. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what I decided to do. And you know, to be fair, I was weren't burnt out, but I'm very ready to go through this kind of phase, because I haven't done something like this for a long time, if I'm honest. So I'm overdue a nice freshen up. And I'm excited just to kind of watch like Ian and the guys, and then next year I'll make sure that I'm there with them, and we'll have a fucking good time. So I've still got plenty to watch, as a fan of bodybuilding, I've still got a lot to be excited about this year as well. So,
do you feel like you're normalizing now, or still got the gear flowing through you?
I feel it's obviously still flowing through me, but I do feel mentally I feel quite normal.
I guess
my clarity.
I guess I mean, like, how long does it usually take you when you start to detox before you start sleeping better and you start feeling better?
I'm great already. I feel great already. Literally, I think, but I'd say I'd have to contribute a lot of that to the preps with Patrick being so good. Like Ian will be able to tell you, and Ben probably tell you the same. Like, you never really get too out of whack. Like I found even close to a show, I was still able to sleep, which in previous preps I haven't been able to do. So so nothing's had to go too far out. So really, to be fair, I feel the best I've felt in a long time.
Fuck, it took me like 3 weeks after I stopped and after I got off all the gear. It took me like 3 weeks to like get a full night's sleep again.
Do you find your loss of sleep, Fouad, is more because I think you're someone that really pushes the food load? Do you think that's from a hunger thing, and like maybe your body's just like so out of homeostasis from a food perspective, you're restless? Or do you think that's from like a chemical compound side? I never really push the food low. Like for me, I can't. Like I literally would turn into like a 130-pound men's physique guy. But I sleep like a fucking baby, like right up to the day of the show. Melissa's going to attest to this. But I know in the past when I've really pushed the food load, that's when my sleep suffered, you know?
I'm sure the food, I'm sure the deficit has something to do with it because I'm waking up hungry. But I also know for a fact the trend fucks my sleep up.
And from what, like a sweating perspective? Or
I just don't get deep sleep when I'm on trend, because I've taken trend a long time ago. I never used to take trend in the off season. I used to take Anadrol. Was my I would always have a strength compound. So I would put like Anadrol in. Don't fucking start, Ben.
Said nothing.
Probably the fucking bit down there.
So anyway, I would always have Anadrol as that part of that part of my stack. And then at some point they started fucking with Anadrol, and everybody started to get like stomach rot from taking Anadrol. Anybody who takes Anadrol now after like a week is like their appetite's shit. So I couldn't do, I think I had just started a prep, and I told Hani, I'm like, this fucking Anadrol is not working, man. I can't eat. Like, I just want to eat like once a day. So I switched to Tren, an Anthate, to get the strength, kind of like the strength from Matt, I guess. Ben, don't start. So
just waiting.
Anyways, ever since then, I started putting little bits of Tren E in my off seasons, and I noticed my sleep gets fucked even in the off season. Like when my calories are high and everything, for some reason, it just messes.
What's a central nervous system antagonist, right? So it's stimulating.
Is that why?
I'll get the bad sweats and stuff, but I never find it really impacts my sleep to any significant.
I don't get the sweats. I mean, I'm sweaty during the day just because I'm on gear, but like I don't get the night sweats that everybody talks about.
And I'm like, I mean, I don't even know. Because I get it, even in the off season when I'm like heavy, I'll get it pretty bad even if I'm not using Tren. But I mean, yeah, I'm like a soak the pillow, flip it, soak that side.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I go through 4 pillows in the night and they're all soaked by the morning.
I've never had that. I've never like, yeah, if I fucks with my sleep in like a weird way, I can't explain how. I just don't feel like, because now I'm like, man, you know, me and Ben were just talking about before we logged on. We're talking about wearing your CPAP machine and getting up, not being able to wear it because you have to get up to go to the bathroom all the time, and you're constantly taking it off and putting it on. Yeah. And I don't even really need it right now. I'm like, I only get up once in the night to go piss. I'm sleeping so deep right now that I'm off everything.
James, do you ever use a CPAP?
I don't. Do you know, I'm the one person that hasn't, and it's not because I don't want one. It's just because the process, I'm just really shit, and I've been pointed in directions to get one, and I've always fucking fallen short. In the off season, I think in the off season I'll definitely get one. I think I need to speak to John or someone.
You don't have to go to anybody. Well, I don't know how it is in the UK. Here, you can just I just bought mine.
I think Ben knows the way to do it here. I think.
I just bought mine on Amazon and I set it myself.
Yeah,
you can't do it. You can't do it in UK.
Oh, you do have to.
You have to buy it from a company, and then they ask for a referral letter, and then you have to. I'll talk to James separately, but I had to send them an email basically as a waiver. Yeah. To say, I don't need it. I'm not gonna go through to see a doctor and. Anyway,
it's weird. I've met like 2 people who are like, they're like, it's amazing. My bodybuilding career has gotten better. My sleep has gotten better. I've gained more weight. And then I've talked to a whole bunch of hosts of other people who are like, I can't keep it on at night. It sucks.
Yeah, I think I'd struggle because I get like dreams of being like in a fucking submarine trapped and stuff. Like I get weird claustrophobia dreams.
What?
Yeah.
So if I wake up with that fucking thing on my mouth, I think there's a face hugger on me or something.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I'll be like, pull it off, fucking throw it across the room.
I'm a stomach sleeper, so that would be a big adjustment for me.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah.
I'm okay wearing it. I just, like I said, me and Ben were talking about, I just get up in the night too much to piss normally. So I'm like, I don't want to put it every time I take it off. Like I'll get up after a couple hours, take a leak. I'll take it off. When I come back to bed, I don't put it back on. I just lay down and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm going to try the different attachment because you can get different ones. So at the minute, mine's like the full face, or not the full face, the full nose and mouth covering. You can get just the nose one, which Luke upgraded to that one. He said that worked better for him.
Yeah, I can imagine that being better.
Yeah.
I have 6 of those, Ben. I've tried 6 different ones. I tried just the nose. I tried the nose covering. I tried the whole fucking face. Like it just.
You tried the whole head unit because they do one that's
put it on.
Yeah, it's like
a fish bowl.
I remember the scariest night. I smoked a joint once, and I'm not a fucking weed smoker, so I smoked a joint. I kicked everybody out of my house because I got so paranoid. I was like, everybody's got to leave. I need to be alone. Everybody's got to go. So everybody left. And I go to bed. And I put my CPAP on. And I swear to God, I remember before falling asleep, I'm like, if I die with this thing on, no one's going to know because it's just going to keep on blowing air. That was the last thing.
Good. He's still sleeping.
It was terrifying. Because I had it on. I'm like, just leave it on. You'll be okay. But the other side of your brain is like, but what if I die?
It does put you in a rhythm, though.
Yeah.
It puts you in a good rhythm of like
the sound of it. Yeah.
I can imagine.
All right. Listen, I didn't ask anybody for questions because we had like 400 last week. So I'm just going to go through and we'll go through some of last week's questions. You guys cool with that?
Yeah, play catch up, man. It's all good.
All right. Okay. When you were talking with Missy, you had mentioned T-bar rows and mentioned the method of growing back without having to do rack pulls. Are there any other movements you could recommend for a thick back that are forgiving for those of us with fucked up lower spines?
I mean, any kind of chest supported row is good.
Yeah.
Prone dumbbell row is really good, isn't it? Prone dumbbell row on a bench. Yeah. Like you can change your angle as well. You can go like do a high row variation, a low row variation, elbows flared, elbows tight. Like
basically what Ian said is anything supported, like supported T-bar row, supported dumbbell row, all that.
Chestboard, chestboard T-bar, the chestboard, like the hammer, like unilateral row that you sit on the chair. Like you said, a chest supported dumbbell row like that, laying on your stomach on a bench. Those are great.
I mean, Ben's got to have the best experience. He's fucked up his lower back a bunch of times.
Yeah,
I was just about to say, I had my back surgery in February this year, and I've actually managed, my back started to respond now, but it's come from primarily back supported movements.
You mean chest supported movements?
Sorry, chest supported. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm still doing some hip hinge work and some bent over stuff, but that's mainly for my posterior chain. But actually, for lat development and back development, I have to use chest supported, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Melissa. Somebody said that you just do stuff in the background of the videos just because you want attention. Is that why you do that?
Is that what you're doing? She says
I love YouTube comments. People are so fucking stupid. I'm like, he's in his house. She's in the kitchen cooking.
They live together.
Yeah, maybe she just has to
come. Have a very big house. I'm sorry.
Well, there's not any other good places for me to sit. It's like I can sit in my living room and stuff, but it's like,
No, I don't care. I just think it's funny that people think that shit. Like it's such a weird fucking thing.
People with accounts on YouTube are hilarious.
Yeah.
Denise just messaged me. She said, "Oh, I'm gonna go leave because we're making too much noise." So she's gone out. She took the baby out and they've gone for a walk somewhere. I don't know where they went.
See you later.
She literally just messaged me.
Can't you sit in a different room so that we're not bugging her?
I can, but my back gets fucked up, so I have to sit in my recliner because this is the only way. You ever see me on podcasts start fidgeting? It's because my back starts playing me up. So
look what's happening. We're destroying households.
All right.
Yeah, Yannicka fucked off to Norway.
Yeah, Yannicka left to Norway. She's back actually, guys. She's back.
Oh, she is.
Yeah,
how's that going?
It's all right. Yeah, it's cool. To be fair, I felt like some fucking. When she first got back, I haven't had a headache for 8 weeks, and then I got a headache. I was like, Yannicka, this isn't coincidence.
I thought you were heading out there.
But UK's gone into lockdown again, and flights have been cancelled.
Oh, she's got okay. Fine.
Is she going to be allowed? Is she going to be allowed to leave again though?
She can get back there because of being a
she's citizen. That's right.
I might be stuck. So the wedding I was meant to go to is cancelled and everything.
Yeah.
So literally, everything's just shit at the minute. But at least she's here. But like I said, I got a headache yesterday. In the middle of the night, I was like, "This is uncomfortable." So I left and went to the spare room and slept in the bed in here because I like this room. So bless her, but I'm just so used to having my own space. Like I'm just not used to it at the minute. It's just going to take me a few days to warm it back. Kind of.
Ian, you said that too, didn't you? You said you sleep in separate beds sometimes, right?
No.
Did you say? Oh, you said that was when you guys fight. That's right.
No, she's the one. I never. This is what. When did we talk about this?
That was on her podcast.
It bothers me when she goes because I'll wake up or something and she'll be gone. I go into the guest room like, what the fuck are you doing? Get back in bed.
All right,
I get that though. I get it. I love this room. This is my little shrine room. I love this room.
Yeah, I'm like James. I sometimes I don't sleep in the same bed. Sometimes I'm like I like sleeping in the basement sometimes.
No.
Well,
but tell me your basement is like furnished, right? It's not just.
Yeah, I'm not like sleeping on a cement floor.
Yeah.
I sleep in bed. I sleep in bed no matter what. Like no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah, I mean, like she could literally want to fucking kill me, and I'll get into bed and like I don't give a fuck. If she wants to leave, then that'll be her prerogative. But I'm sleeping in the bed. Yeah.
I've gotten out of bed because of a fight before.
No, I would never.
Like we've been in bed and bickered, and I'm like, fuck this, and I'll get up and leave.
Yeah, no, she would do that. She would do that, but I would never get out.
Yeah, maybe I'm the.
I'm not mad on my bedroom. I don't really like my bedroom.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't click with me. This room does. I like it.
I'm staying in my bed. We spent a lot of money on our mattress and bed. I'm staying fucking put. If she gets butt hurt and she'll fucking leave and drop out and come sleep on the sofa or something. But I can't sleep on the other mattress. It fucks my back. So I'm even no matter what, I'm staying in that room.
That bed looks way too small for you, James.
It's tiny. It's like a listen.
It's an army.
It looks like a jail. It's like a jailhouse. Fucking.
It is. It's like a little prop bed for a film. But I love it. I lay on it and I just stay there. I don't know.
Do you not get on that and it fucking like squeaks and sounds like it's about to snap in half?
It's surprising. It's really surprisingly durable.
All right. So James, the question is, if Yannicka came in there to sleep with you, would you still love that room?
There's not enough room. She can't. The bed's too small.
Is that
why he does it.
Is that on
no
purpose? It's on purpose that way. He's got his own space.
Do you know what it is? It's actually, bless her, she snores, and I know I do. She snores, but also it's the fact that she starfishes in bed. She spreads out. And she's only a small girl, but she takes up a lot of room when she starfishes. Yeah. And I literally get pushed to the like the edge of the horizon. Like, I look like I'm going to tip over the edge of the waterfall. And it's just scary. It's scary, to be fair. So I have to, at least here I'm based.
We've got, is it a super king or whichever, the queen or the king? We got the big one, right? It's like,
that's probably what I need.
Honestly, there's me, Denise, and now she's got Phoenix in bed with us. I can't get near them. Like, I could roll over, do couple of backflips, and I'm nowhere near them.
I sleep on the edge of the bed anyway, though.
Yeah, I do. I'm on my arm and tucked up against the edge.
Can I ask the three of you a question, actually? Because this is a big factor as well. I like to have blinds open because I like sunlight when the sun rises. Yannika's a blind shut person. I can't do that.
You sleep with the blinds open?
I like once the sun comes up in the morning, I want to see it. It'll wake me up nicely.
My blinds are shut. My blinds are shut, but they're not black, so the sun still kind of comes through.
That's kind of like me,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Because I just wonder, because it's like in Norway they like to have it pitch black for as long as possible. And I'm just not like, I like the sun is what wakes me up and makes me feel fresh in the morning. So that's something that we argue over.
Melissa gets up a lot earlier than me, so she'll be like up. She'll be like, opening blinds, turn lights on before me. So like, by the time I wake up, it's like
it's nice and ready. Yeah. That's good. That's what Yannika.
If you could change one thing about your career, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I don't have a career, so I'm out.
Well, you would have a career. That's what you would change. You'd be like, I would be a pro.
What would I change, babe?
I don't think there's anything really to change, is there?
I think it's weird. It's a good thing is we all seem pretty happy.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything. Is there anything I would change? I mean, I would have liked to have been more consistent. That's the one thing I could say.
Yeah.
I think no, not even that. You know what? I'm going to say this. I know it pisses some people off. I would have liked to have a better relationship with food. People hate that saying.
But we've all got, I'm not you, but I do have, there is a relationship with food that I have that's quite difficult at times, I have to say.
I'm just fucking all or nothing. I'm like, I'm either fucking perfectly strict or I'm like, or I'm at McDonald's like every other day. So I think that's the one thing I would have liked to learn how to be better. I don't think I would have been like Ian. Like I like that. I like food, but I would have just been a little less extreme.
I'm struggling in a minute not to add extras.
Yeah, Patrick's got you growing. You posted a picture of what, 261, 262?
20 pounds.
No, I was 269 this morning.
Oh fuck, you're growing fast.
And you look pretty much like.
And you're still lean, yeah.
Yeah, but the low days are fucking low. It's 20.
Yeah, didn't you say you're eating like 2,200 calories?
It's 2,100 on a rest day, and I only train 2 days then to have a rest day because the training is fucking brutal. And now my strength's coming back, but my training days are 448, 4,900.
Dude,
but I'm so hungry. But then it's not that. It's like I'm more hungry now than in the prep because I'm going from there to there.
Yeah.
And on the rest day, like today's a rest day, and I try to wake up late and go to bed early because I'm like, fuck this.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's my appetite. My food, my stomach's like used to having this in it for 2 days, and then it goes to this. I'm like, wait, where's the rest?
Yeah.
But and then because I've got an 8-year-old stepson, and it's been Halloween, and there's so much
stuff. You're burning calories like mad.
There's there's like cookies and fucking everything.
Oh, true.
Oh.
True.
So okay, let's go back, Ian or James or Ben. There's nothing you guys can't think of anything. Come on.
I would have. Go on, sorry.
Sorry, what did you say, James?
No, go on. I was just going to go after. I'll go after. Sorry.
I think for me would be like not being so hard on myself in a lot of aspects with like placings and shows and stuff like that. Like I've really had some times where I really fucking beat myself up. We've talked about this before, Fouad, like you saying being hard on myself.
Yep.
I think that's probably the thing. And there was some serious times in bodybuilding that really, really sucked the fucking fun out of it for me. And I think just putting the focus more onto like what I can control and taking, you know, less emphasis off the things I can't control, which I really, really, you know, have had times that I've really, what's the word for that? Really like focused on that too much, I guess. So yeah, I think that would be the thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably had some of that too. Anyway, go ahead, James.
No, I kind of agree. I think a lot of it comes down to like ourselves, isn't it? It's not really that you want your career; it's your outlook.
Yeah.
Like I just wish you a bit more appreciative of, you know, your efforts and less.
Yeah. Exactly.
I suppose, yes, resentful of some of the things that didn't go well. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to have got on board with Patrick perhaps sooner. That would have helped. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, but I think, you know what though, I'm a firm believer that everything comes up leads to something for a reason, right? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Maybe had you worked with Patrick first, you wouldn't have the same level of respect for him that you do now because you've worked with other coaches that didn't do the things he's doing.
Yeah. Because briefly, I spoke to Patrick a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
and it's just funny. But yeah, this time is the right time.
But I'm just saying, like maybe working with another coach and then seeing what they do.
Yeah, makes you appreciate someone.
It makes you appreciate what Patrick's doing more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's so true.
Ben, anything you can think of?
Well, the one thing I'm doing is I'm changing it now, right? I'm being more consistent,
more focused.
Like the difficulty was, I think, being with Luke, his genetics carried him. Like, you know, there's a lot of pros that can get away. I'm not of the genetic level where, if I really want to progress my physique, I've noticed that the more consistent I am, funnily enough, the more progress I make. Imagine that, right? Yeah. And so what I did was, like, I fucked around for 2 years, basically from 2018 to the beginning of this year, where I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? And I held an okay physique, but I wasn't developing, it wasn't progressing. And then getting into the prep, it set me into a routine and a structure again. And all I've tried to do is then, linking with Patrick, just carry on that mentality of the prep. Because for me, I can make more progress than I was making, but I have to be very diligent. I have to be consistent. I can't get away with, you know, and like I said to you guys before, when I went and trained with Hunter, I realized that I'd convinced myself I was training hard enough. Yeah. Like, I can walk into a gym and make it hurt, but it's not progressing, you know. It's just doing the same shit I was doing for the last year. It feels hard at the time, but it's not. Like, now I'm battered and I'm desperate for a day off aside from the food, you know. So those things, I think, just resetting and going, okay, I can't get away with being 80% bodybuilder in the off season if I really want to grow. Yeah, I have to.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because I don't think people understand necessarily. People think what you said is obvious, but it's not, because Luke and lots of other pro bodybuilders,
they have a bit of time off after a show to get away with it.
Like, honestly, man, I was an 80% off-season bodybuilder. I would, like, sometimes I'd miss a meal. Sometimes I fucking felt like eating a pizza. Sometimes me and Luke had the same philosophy about diet. It was like, eat your meals and then eat whatever the fuck you want on top of it, kind of thing.
Luke always used to say it doesn't really matter because it's all got to come off at some point.
Yeah.
Well, because Chris felt the same, didn't he? With that, because I remember I think it was the three of us
in the posing room. We were in the posing room.
Yeah, in the posing room. And I remember Luke said, Chris is just like, you're probably not fat enough.
Yeah. That
was just his way. He didn't mind.
But yeah, like I said, I think some people look at that statement and think, oh, how fucking obvious is that? You have to be more consistent. But some people have to pay more attention than others. Right?
It's really like locking it in.
And then the truth is, if you get someone like Ian or James, who's got the genetics of me or Luke, but has also locked in at the same time, then you get that other level, right? I mean, that's when I see Jay Cutler, that's what I think. I think a guy with supreme focus, but also supreme genetics. You put it together and you get to Mr. Olympia, right? And then and people don't give Ronnie Coleman a lot of credit for this, because they watch his videos and he's mixing Hershey fucking syrup with his protein shakes and he's putting a bottle of ketchup on his chicken. But if you think about Ronnie Coleman's career, I would actually venture to say he had more work ethic than Jay, because he's packing all those meals, doing all that shit day in, day out. And it might not have looked as clean as Jay. Yeah, it's not chicken and rice. It's maybe like a Hershey syrup and a shake. But think about all the shit he was doing while he was working a full-time job and still became Mr. Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're equal. I think they're equals, and it's two different just looks on that. Like
I don't
you can
know
have you can have two people who are doing great things, but the two ways are just different. I don't know. Like yeah, you might think one more than the other. I kind of just look at them the same. It's just the ingredients for the cocktail were different.
No, in that sense, I agree with you, right? Like,
yeah.
Ronnie did it with Hershey syrup and barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Jay did it with chicken and rice, right?
Yeah,
But the reason I give Ronnie the nod is, one, he trained more. Like he was doing 2-a-days every day, right? So that's one, and two, he did it with a full-time job. Jay didn't have a full-time job, so I'm like, if you're working a full-time fucking job and you're still putting in the hours in the gym and still mastering your fucking diet,
and I do find it incredible.
And moving the weights he was. Can you imagine like squatting or deadlifting what he was, and then going and working a shift?
Yeah.
Police station.
Well, I mean, I don't factor in the weight only because everybody lifts and grows in a different way, right? Like, there's no maybe Ronnie trained
seemed less taxing than.
I wouldn't say that. I would because Jay told me he was doing like, first of all, Jay was doing like
30 set workouts,
45-second rest and like 30 set workouts, whereas Ronnie was probably doing less volume but heavier weight. So in the end, the intensity is probably right. Like, I just think that the addition of having a full-time job makes it like another level that, you know, a lot
I think maybe that full-time job is what kept Ronnie sane.
Yeah.
Because because then you're not all focused on.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you're like 3 weeks out from a show and fuck all's going on and you're thinking about the show all day, every day. Yeah. But then off season, when you've got things going on like socializing and, you know, doing some leisurely things, nothing seems to be that hard. I know the calories are part of that equation and the drugs, but certainly like having occupied mind is certainly something that really helps. And maybe Ronnie maybe he really loved having a bit of time in his mind occupied by a job. Like it allowed him to just, you know, be the bodybuilder and, you know, enjoy it.
I'm gonna throw some racism at you. Why is it that the white guys are always patted on the back for their hard work, but the black guys aren't? When people talk, listen, just hear me out for a second. Hear me out for 1 second.
No. Listen, I'm gonna.
Hear me out. Let me explain. When people talk about work ethic, they say Dorian.
Dorian, yeah.
When people talk about business mind or work ethic, they talk about Jay.
They talk about genetic freaks. They talk about Ronnie, Phil. Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about genetics. They're like Ronnie, Phil, right? No one ever says, because when I watched like Ronnie Coleman's most recent documentary, The King or whatever, is on Netflix.
You know he works.
The guy, you know, he graduated top in his class, whatever, for accounting or whatever the fuck it was, and he like, you know, he's trained his fucking ass off twice a day, and he's a full-time police officer. Blah 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 blah. Nobody ever says Ronnie Coleman's work ethic. No one says that. Yeah. It's like he was just born that way.
Yeah.
So I think Ronnie's the only one that does get a slight pat on the back for working. Like
Ronnie's pretty well known for his work ethic. Yeah.
Do you hear that mentioned when you hear Ronnie?
I hear that.
Yeah.
I don't hear that like Bill or Brandon as much as I would hear it as Ronnie. Yeah. But Ronnie is definitely like, you know, you hear about Ronnie slugging the crazy weights and just being like intense, like
the weights, yes. But when you
the job as well,
but the mindset. When you talk about mindset, people always go Dorian.
Yeah, do you know it's because this is a very generalized question in the sense that I think most people just assume that, to be fair, that guys like Brandon who have good muscle bellies, it comes easy to. When it doesn't come easy to. Of course it doesn't come easy. But, you know, there is it's kind of convoluted saying that it's easier. It's not easier, it's just potential is great. Like, to have those kind of muscle tines. So it gets confused with people thinking you haven't had to work hard. Like, let's take Samson, for example. He's had to work his ass off to get where he's got to. And I know he probably gets very frustrated with people saying it's all genetics. And it's not. But it's just the potential for a physique like his is very, very high because of the genetics. But the work rate is more important.
But the statement doesn't make sense. And this is why. People always say shit like, look at Dorian. Look at what he did with shit genetics. And
These legs aren't shit.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ronnie Coleman's genetics and Dorian Yates' genetics are the same. Just Ronnie Coleman's body type is different. Yeah. But like, you have to have insane genetics to be able to build the amount of muscle that Dorian had.
They're both peak. They're both peak of what they are. Yeah.
Like, people say that about Branch Warren, like, oh, you know what he did with his genetics.
His genetics are nuts. They're nuts.
What are you talking about? Right?
If you think Branch has got shit genetics, you're dumb.
Yeah. What I think the difference is when people see a guy eating like chicken and rice with no condiments, and they're very stoic, and they're very like
all work, no.
Yeah, they're like, oh, look, Dorian's crazy, right? He's but then they see Ronnie, and he's like having fun in the gym, and he's putting a pound of barbecue sauce on his chicken, and they're like, oh, that guy doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
And I'm
also, the minute someone's got a small waist, you think they're genetically gifted.
Yeah.
And then someone who hasn't, someone who's not got the smallest waist, they got bad genetics.
Yeah.
Not really.
I can attest to this because even with Chris, like with Chris Bumstead, I mean, same thing. You know, because of the genetic shape of his physique, 99% of people attest his look and his physique just strictly to genetics and no work, right?
I'm actually guilty of that because the first time I think I saw Chris squat 5 plates, I was like, oh, he's strong too. I thought he was just born that way.
Yeah, no,
I didn't realize like he actually trained hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right.
So we even fall victim to it now. That's what I'm saying. You just said that prime example. Even this many years in the game, sometimes you find yourself falling into that.
Oh, yeah, we all do it.
Like Mark Hector. Like I know you interviewed him last week. Like I look at him and I'm blown away every time I see him. Like in the flesh, I'm even more blown away. The pecs, the fucking waist, everything, the shoulder width. Like there is no denying that those genetics are superior to many, but it's the whole thing. Like, what has he had to do in order to reach where he is now? He's had to do everything we've had to do. It's the same. It's just a different body type. He's had to work his ass off just as much.
Actually, you bring up a good point. Does he? Like, and this is not a knock on anybody. I'm literally just exploring the question. So does Dexter Jackson have to work as hard to have reached his genetic potential as and this is
Dexter's a bad example because I don't think Dexter ever reached genetic potential.
Okay, well, wait a minute. I'm just saying.
True.
85% for 30 years.
This question is assuming, like we said earlier, they all have great genetics. Like Dorian, Branch, they all have great genetics. But what I'm questioning is work ethic. Does everybody have to work the same amount to reach that genetic potential?
So
to reach their full.
When you're saying to reach their own genetic potential, everyone has to work maximally, right?
Yes.
Okay. But to reach the same level, not everyone has to work to the same point.
That's the point I'm trying to get. Yeah. Okay.
Like you said there, Dexter's so fine. His body's so good.
Yeah.
Like Ian said, an 85% Dexter, which is probably what he is, has been able to be a 30 pro show winner. Imagine if he had that little bit that Cutler and that Ronnie had.
No, that's not the point I'm trying to make.
No, but that's the point we're trying to make. We're trying to say that he's not even his full potential.
What I'm saying. Okay, but what I'm saying is this. Let's say you take anybody. It doesn't have to be Dexter. It could be Sean Roden. It could be anybody. Let's just pick a name. So Brandon Curry. Let's say Brandon Curry's at 100%, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is 100%. Did they both have to work equally as hard to get to their 100%?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, to get to their 100%.
Yes. But for Brandon to be better than me, I might be working at 100%. He might be working at 75 and be better than me. But for him to be 100% of himself, he would have to work.
Oh, that's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, that's
what we're saying. Yeah.
Because on the flip side of that, I'm going to use myself and Luke as an example. Because for 3.5, 4 years, we did the same.
Yeah.
Mirrored.
I got you.
Our effort levels were identical, right? To the T. Our drug protocols were identical. Everything was the fucking same, and the rate of progress was different based on genetics, how they received that effort level, right?
So
I still worked. Our effort level was both 100%. Just the response that our genetics were able to display that was
genetic diversity obviously exists, but for someone to reach their maximum potential, there has to be maximum effort.
So what we're saying then is, if there's 10 guys lined up in a fucking line, they can all get to 100%. And their 100% are going to be different.
Yeah.
But to get to their 100%, each one could be a different work ethic level or a work level.
No, they have to work. We think they should all have to work. To reach their 100, they have to work.
No, they all have to work at 100% of their 100%.
Yes.
A different level, yes.
But each 100% may be different.
Yeah.
That's where that comes in.
Yeah, that's where you get the Phil Heath versus
Branch Warren.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. What's the creepiest thing a fan has said to you at an expo or through your DMs?
We all get this all the time.
Buying my underwear is the number one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even find that creepy anymore in this day and age, though.
One guy called my hotel room and wanted to come up and size my feet.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That was fucking weird.
I had a guy not that long ago. I mean, this isn't even that weird, really, when you think of it. But I had a guy, an Italian guy, that was messaging me and wanted me to fly Melissa and I out to Italy.
Yeah.
So that I could fuck his wife in front of him. He wanted to be cucked. She was like, and he's like, I just want to watch you and
Do it.
And Melissa, and them to suck your dick and have sex with you while I watch. And he was going to fly me out to Italy for that.
I would have done it. Be like, okay, let's go.
Well, jokingly, I was like to Melissa, I'm like, free trip to Italy.
What was the pay?
I didn't get that far, but I investigated with, I played along with it for quite a while,
Yeah.
I got it. He sent me pictures of his wife and everything.
I got offered, me and Summer got offered a guy from Vegas he wanted to fly us out and watch us bang.
Yeah.
And I was like, 10 grand. He's like, oh, it's too rich for my blood. I'm like, okay. But I was like, I think I might do that. I'm like, if I could get her,
10 grand.
If I could get her to go along with it.
Anyway. Yeah, what you do anyway.
Yeah.
No, I mean.
That he's not there.
Yeah. Anyway, anything weird, James? Ben?
I had one. Remember, I had some dude wanted me to basically crush him with my thighs.
Yeah, that's a common one with women, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, PayPal me, and he PayPal me a deposit, and I took it.
No, you didn't.
I remember that.
And then he tried calling me out on Facebook, and I just said, yeah, I did. I took his money because he's a creep. I said, he PayPal me a couple $100. And I told him to fuck off. So
that's fucking funny.
I said, listen, at the end of the day, if you're dumb enough to fucking come at me like that, and I say, yeah, drop some money in my PayPal, that's your fault.
Yeah. I can see it.
That's it. And then he did apologize after, because I said, look, you can't be coming at me like that, man. Like, that's just fucked up.
Did you give his money back?
No.
Oh, okay. So he apologized. So he gave you money and apologized because you stole it.
Yeah, because he fucking.
He didn't steal it. He didn't steal his money.
The guy sent it willingly.
He offended you, so you deserve that money.
He just listen. At the end of the day, he paid me to even. I don't know why. I just said, look, you transfer this, and I might consider it. And he was like, yeah, sweet. And then after, when I said, you know what, I'm not doing this shit. You'll just fuck it up. Yeah, he had a big backlash.
How much money was it?
It was like a couple $100.
Ben, anybody?
It's all the same shit.
Same kind of shit?
Yeah, because some guy was like, I want you to come build my gym in my house. I've just built a new house. But we have to stay in my brother's house. And I was like,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Would you rather bite? Oh, we already did that one. When you refer to bulking, do you mean getting above 15% body fat and really getting fat, or lean gaining, depending on where your body feels comfy?
Just doesn't matter.
Bulking technically is supposed to mean gaining muscle. It's not supposed to have any difference to gaining fat.
Can I just say what the right answer is, and then what I did? What I did was I didn't give a fuck about body fat. Like when I was first putting on muscle, I just fucking ate as much as I could. I didn't give a shit.
Chicago town pizzas.
So this is where I think. So you know what we were talking about earlier, where I'm having to be more consistent versus say you. Yeah. I think for me, I can put on the body weight, but I'm not putting on muscle. My body will start. I can get up to 295, but there's a point where I go past say 12-15% body fat, where I'm now too fat to be anabolic and build muscle tissue. Versus somebody like yourself and Luke, who their bodies are, like I say, if we talk about genetics, their body's genetically able to carry on building muscle tissue.
Even when fat's higher. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think 15% is probably the max. And like you don't really need to be more than 15% if you're trying to bulk. And like Ian said, it's not about how fat you can get. I think if you're not eating junk food, it's kind of hard to get over 15%, unless you're already fat when you started.
Yeah.
I'm not a junk food eater at all, and it would be very, very difficult for me to eat enough food to get that much body fat.
Yeah, like it's not easy to eat like 4,000 or 5,000. Like if you're just starting and you're like a 180-pound guy or 200-pound guy, it's not easy to eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories of clean fucking food.
Very difficult.
But a lot of them aren't training hard enough to warrant eating 4,000 or 5,000 fucking calories anyway.
I know, but they wouldn't.
They wouldn't even be hungry for it, would they? They wouldn't even be hungry for it.
But they wouldn't even, because like I just started coaching again, and a lot of the guys I got were around 200 pounds, and I give them like a 32, 33, 3,600 calorie diet, and they're like,
wow,
this is so much food, because it's all clean. There's no, it's easy to eat 3,000 calories when you're throwing in a pizza, but like,
yeah, it's true.
Let's see here. Is it weird listening to your podcast while working out gets me hyped up? Do you guys listen to podcasts when you're working out? Anything like that?
Maybe during cardio, not when I'm working out.
Cardio, yeah, cardio. I think working out's it's a bit too calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I got to do music.
But if they do listen to it, thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate. I don't. But people message me all the time.
It's not our choice, but yeah.
Yeah, people message me all the time, and they're like, "I listen to your podcast when I'm training," and I'm like, "I don't know how I can't focus on the two things."
Yeah. Should we start counting? Like, one more rep. So they can hear, like, come on, motherfucker.
No, but like,
throw those in periodically.
Even when I have music on, it's almost just like white noise in the background. Like I can't really hear the music. I'm just like, so.
Your noise,
especially during a set.
More so than
during a set, I'm really not. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Before I might before a set, I might like skip the track, and then as I'm setting, I'm listening to it. But then once I'm pulling that or pushing it, it's
true. I think I'm the same.
Remember the last time I wore headphones to work out?
Yeah.
You don't wear.
They throw me off. They throw me off.
You guys don't wear anything when you train? You don't listen to anything?
Well, I mean, if I'm not, I train with my friend Julian most days, and if I don't, then I'm training with Melissa or someone. So I'm always with someone. I'm not gonna like put headphones in when I'm training with someone. You know?
Why is that rude?
Well, I like to be able to communicate. You know, like
if I'm training with somebody, I don't put. If I'm training with somebody, but then I put the music on in the gym, so it's my gym.
There's music on the gym for sure.
I'm not putting headphones in if I'm training with somebody. No,
I never have.
Does that mean
you're an asshole, Fouad? Yes.
But that didn't need confirming before that point.
It's just
establishing. Yeah.
I think it's different. Like if you've got overhead and in ears really taking the piss. If you're in ear, you're like, fuck off, I'm not talking to you at all.
Yeah,
overhead, you go.
Well,
I wear both.
those Apple AirPods bug me because people will be like at expos or walking around the office with them in, just in case they get, like, the old Bluetooth
phone call. Yeah.
And I'm like, take it the fuck out. Like I don't know whether you're, because sometimes people will walk into a room and you think they're talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, does that mean I'm rude to Paul?
So does Paul wear headphones though?
Paul wears headphones, yes.
Okay, well then no, you're on the same playing field. That's fine. If you're wearing headphones and he's just standing there with his thumb up his ass and you're not paying attention, yeah, you're a fucking asshole. But if he's wearing them too, then no, you're on the same page. You're good.
Yeah, you've got an agreement going on there.
No, we both wear headphones. We don't.
Well, is that now though?
Huh? What's that mean? Or Ben? Somebody say something. Ian, go ahead.
You guys talk during your workout then, or is it just like headphones in, silence, you just spot and go?
There are times like if it's like a heaviest set, I'll pull my headphones down so he can hear me spotting him, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time we don't. It's like we've been training together for fucking 20 years, man.
Yeah.
All right, but here's my question. Has he just given up and joined you in that? Like, did it start off for the last 15 years? He was there with his
guys not listening to me.
He's got his thumb up his ass for 15 years, and in the end he went, fuck him. Said to his wife, buy me some headphones because Fouad's not taking music.
No, you know what?
It's the whole can't beat them, join them thing.
No, it's been like this since day one. We meet. It was me, Paul, and another friend, and then it was just me and Paul. But regardless,
the other friend had enough.
Yeah, the other guy was like, "Fuck you guys." No, either way. What we used to do is just show up at the gym. We would walk on the treadmill for 5 minutes. And that was our time to talk. We'd catch up on whatever. I got in a fight with my wife.
Through training?
What's that?
Do you know Paul through the gym through training?
Yeah, we met at the gym.
Okay.
So we would talk about whatever the fuck bullshit we happened last night or whatever. And then after we were done doing our 5-minute warm up and we were like, okay, we're done talking. Headphones go in. I don't need to talk to you anymore.
No.
You know when I need a spot. I know when you need a spot. That's it.
Yeah. I think that's very good synchronicity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
Sorry, I was going to say, it reminds me because this week, like we used about mindset and whatever, I fucked up during my back workout. So I go out and then I say to Denise, hey, when I need a spot, can I text you and you'll come out?
Yeah.
So she comes out of the first exercise and then she just hangs around until I does my 4 reps with me that Patrick has me doing, and it counts my rest periods in between and shit. But now she started like to talk to me. So in between, she's like, oh, I might get my hair cut like this. And
oh, no.
I might do this. And I didn't think about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. And then she's like, what do you want for Christmas? We're having a conversation. And I went to do like my heavy rack pull set and I just wasn't here.
Yeah.
And I tried to get it. I couldn't get it. And I lost the shit. And I'm like, I just turned around. I was a bit of an arsehole. I was like, enough. No bullshit conversation. My head's not in this. Fuck this. I said, I need to get myself right. I said, can we talk tonight when I'm done.
Yeah. You know what?
Like, be here. Yeah.
That's a good point. Because in the beginning, like I said, it was me, Paul, and my other friend, Mish. And they like to talk in between sets. And I never like that. Like, once I start my workout, I want to fucking talk about anything that happened last night or whatever the fuck. So I would keep my headphones in so it didn't distract me. So they would be talking and laughing, whatever, and I just couldn't hear them.
So you were the initial asshole.
No, they had headphones too, but they would pull theirs off and shoot shit in between sets. And I would just leave mine on.
Sure. Yeah.
So, okay, maybe I was the initial asshole, but
someone's got to be, man. Someone's got to be. You got to set the trend.
I like just tuning out. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if
the gym is your time of day to do that.
Look, if let's say the four of us train together, right? I wouldn't wear my headphones because it's like a special event. Like, we don't train together.
Yeah.
But if we train together every fucking day,
yeah.
I don't. It's almost like, I think if you have a good training, and maybe you guys know this or don't, I don't know how close you are with your training partners. Maybe Ben, you know this from Luke, and James, I don't know how close you are with your training partners, but me and Paul have been training together so fucking long that I can feel when he needs a spot and I can feel when he needs a push and all that shit. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, if he's slacking one day, I know to pull my headphones off and like shout at him a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah. So it's like you said, there's a synchronistic thing about it.
Yeah. To be fair, I get both training. I've had training partners in the past that are pretty much wearing headphones even though they're not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
Well, Luke got bad towards the end because his phone became distraction for him. And so we made a rule where he'd put his phone in the office and plug it into the music system, so he couldn't be. It's when he's always hit Instagram blew up and he just didn't know how to separate it.
Yeah.
And James and I had this conversation. I'm like,
I was like,
it was like he'd finish a lat pull down, and as he'd put the weight down, his left hand, his hand is going in his pocket to get his phone out.
But I know how that feels because I know Luke likes to get back to everybody.
Right. It's that balance.
You know what happens if I go to okay, it's fucking 1 o'clock. If I go to the gym at fucking 3 and I put my phone in my bag for 2 hours and I come back out of the gym, there's like 100 messages now.
Yeah.
And if you're the kind of person that wants to answer everybody, you're like, fuck. So if you do it kind of while you're training, I don't do it, but if you did, you kind of like tackling them as you go, so it doesn't seem like there's so many.
Yeah, but it's a fine line to walk. In the off season, I think maybe you can get away with that, right?
Yeah, I think you need to be selfish when it comes.
I don't. I can't.
Yeah, no.
Because no one's as important as yourself when it comes to prep.
Well, it's even
that's the truth.
Like what I'm saying is I understand. I think I understand why he was doing it. I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't do it myself because it'll completely throw off my workout if I go I'm on my phone every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But
I just always think, what would it subtract from the end result? You know, it's gonna take away. So
that's why I was kind of like, the whole potential side of things. I'm like, God, if you just
fucking knuckle down. Yeah. Me and you settled up. We'd always say, for fuck's sake.
I always said, like, imagine if Luke had James's like blinkers on.
He would have won 5 shows this year. 5.
Would he though? I wonder.
Yeah, he would have. He fucking would have. 100%.
Like, first, I've trained a little bit with James, right? Not a lot, but I've trained with both of them to know if you apply. Well, this is what we were talking about. If we take the genetic component with the obsession, and Luke was a Jay Cutler in the making. He was a Ronnie in the making.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not where I'm going. I know what you guys are saying. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is everyone's different. Like, I think Luke would have hated bodybuilding if he was that way.
Yeah, but we're talking about creating an entirely different person. Like, if you're just saying if you combine the genetics.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the guy that walks out on stage.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I agree with that. I was just saying if you took Luke and said to him, hey, you can't do anything at all but this.
No, it probably would have detracted, yes.
He would have hated it.
Yeah, of course. Because I tried it. Me, Milos, and Flex all tried it, and he was like, fuck off.
None of it.
I don't think I could have.
Because you can only do what you can function with.
I don't think I could have been a bodybuilder had I, because they asked me to go to Kuwait, right? Back in like 2012, 2013, like, you want to come to Kuwait?
Is that because you would fit in?
No, not. They're like, hey, you speak Arabic. You want to come out here?
Do you actually speak Arabic?
I do speak Arabic. But no, they like. I think they thought I could have been pretty good or whatever. So they're like, "You want to come out?" And I was like, "No." And looking back at it now, like I didn't know this at the time, but now that I look back at it, I'm like, I didn't want to live, eat, breathe.
Yeah.
Like,
So Redcon wanted myself and Luke to relocate to Florida, and he was like, "Nope, fuck off. Nope, not doing it."
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
I
Like
think
say,
some people
you can only do what you can do, and if something's gonna, it's better that you function 90% and consistent because you're happy, versus being 100% on and burning out after 5 weeks because it's just not the way you like to live.
Well, I think part of passion is that you love what you're doing.
Yeah. You have to love it. You do have to love it.
It's not like, it's weird. You can't force a square peg into a fucking circle, man. It's like, I talked to Patrick and I was supposed to work with Patrick, but I'm not that bodybuilder.
Well, listen, this is why I didn't jump through hoops for this Olympia. Because
you weren't ready for it.
Well, I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
Like if I have to go with one arm behind my back to a fucking country I don't even know and stay there for 2 weeks on equipment I don't understand, and just live in almost like not live as myself and be in my comforts, I wouldn't be me at the end of this process. So it's the same kind of thing. It's really that. It's like I will not do something even if it sounds great to everybody, but if you're not happy.
You know what this discussion is similar to, and I keep going back to this, so whoever watches the podcast regularly, I know you're going to get annoyed, but I had the carnivore MD on, the Paul Saladin, he's a carnivore diet guy, and people are freaking out. The thing I don't understand about diet that people don't get is it doesn't matter if you're a carnivore person, a vegan, a fucking whatever diet you subscribe to, you have to enjoy it. Like if everybody on earth said vegan is the best, but you hated it, you would never last.
Exactly.
And it's like I've said about bodybuilding before. If you don't absolutely love bodybuilding, you're never going to make it to our level or any level, because it's not something that's like, it's not enjoyable. Like it hurts. Like there's suffering and it hurts, and you have to actually like that part of it.
A lot of drive is going to be based off of enjoyment like that. I mean, like, you can have intrinsic or like acute motivation that'll get you so far, but it's not going to carry past like a disdain for something.
Yeah.
That's right. Like I used to train with a guy who wanted to be a bodybuilder so bad, but he fucking hated dieting.
I know.
He hated it. And I'm like, just do the off season. Just be a big guy then. Just be a big guy, because you can't be a bodybuilder if you can't enjoy
dieting down.
The suffering and all that.
That kind of like makes me. I don't know whether Jordan Peters likes dieting or not, but he's very good at that part.
Yeah.
The like building muscle, being a freak, and it suits him. And I don't think he's in any rush to diet, because that's the part that he has love for. So,
well, you know what? That's an awesome example, because I actually said to him, because we were talking about his waist size. He said to me on the podcast, what's holding me back from being a pro is my waist. And I said, have you ever thought of changing the way you train? Because maybe those heavy poundages are working on your, expanding your core.
0% he would ever change that. Yeah.
And he says to me, I love it too much.
Yeah. No.
And I love that answer, because he's like, look, he basically encompassed everything I'm trying to say. He's basically saying, I love what I'm doing, and I don't want to do it if I'm going to hate doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just life. That's how you should live your life.
It's interesting. What. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I got a little deep there.
That's cool. It's cool. We answered we went into a bit of depth there.
I just because I get messages from people all the time that like about motivation, all these things, and they just seem like they don't like dieting. They seem like a lot of people don't even like bodybuilding. They don't like training. Yeah.
They just like the thumbs up on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A lot of people like the end result. Yeah. A lot of people like the end result, or the idea of a pro card, or the idea of a sponsorship, or the idea that's what they want to have.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly for me, I enjoy the day. I enjoy today. I enjoy tomorrow. I enjoy this part.
Yeah, yeah. I got a message from a guy. It's funny you said that about sponsorship. I got a message from a guy. He's like, I just started bodybuilding. I'm doing my first show in 6 months at blah 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 NPC. He's like, I'd like to talk to you about getting a paid contract. And I'm like, you fucking just started lifting weights. Like you're way like that's cart.
Oh man, you got 10 years of work to do yet.
It's like
slow your roll a bit there, yeah.
Cart before the horse. Like you know.
I mean, you don't ask, you don't get, right? So,
but that goes to your point. You don't ask, you don't get. Yeah, but that goes to your point about what people
what they want from it.
They want the contract, they want the money. They don't, but they don't. You know, they're not just looking to have fun doing it.
Bodybuild.
Yeah.
Everything around it, it's fucking mad.
What would be your last meal if you were on death row and had to choose one?
What am I like? I'm really liking, like, I think Italian food.
Toast and butter. That's what you said.
Literally about to fucking say toast and butter.
Yeah. Do you know what? The mad thing is, I still haven't had any butter on my toast.
That happens to me all the time. Every time when I used to compete, I would make lists of food.
Yeah.
I was going to eat, right? Like by the time I was done dieting, I had a list like this fucking long.
Yeah.
And I would never get to it.
I miss my mum's lasagna, man. My mum's Italian, right?
Yeah, like Italian food is really good.
I haven't seen my mum in a year now because of fucking Corona, and I'm dying for that.
I was going to ask you if your mom was Asian. I'm like, I don't think she can make lasagna.
Oh, she's Italian.
Yeah, I thought she was the Asian side.
Well, no, my son is Chow, so my dad.
Chow.
Oh, sorry. What does that? Do you have to take? Yeah, I guess. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. See, this is like detective work. We're working backwards. You've got to reverse engineer.
Okay, so lasagna. So Ben would have his mom's lasagna. James, you're going with toast and butter? Is that your death row meal?
No, I don't think it's my death row meal. I think my death row meal will probably be some sort of pasta dish as well, if I'm honest. Just don't know what. Because I do like pasta.
Is there a specific one, like pesto or cream sauce or?
I'm more of a cream sauce because it's just
carbonara,
isn't it? Yes, I would opt for that way, definitely. White sauces over the red sauces, if I'm honest.
Really? I'm like I'm a blush.
Basil and tomato basil.
That's why lasagna is good. A lasagna, you got both.
No, I'm in both. I like both because I like blush sauce. I like a mix.
Okay.
Right? I like that.
Yeah. You drink rosé wine, don't you?
Dude, I like a good blush sauce. It's got a little bit of tomato, a little bit of cream. You put that shit together.
Yeah. What pasta though? I like tagliatelle.
Oh, I love gnocchi.
Okay.
Gnocchi.
I like the thick pasta. The tagliatelles.
Yeah. I like honestly any pasta. It's all the same shit. It's just a noodle.
I tell you what,
different
James.
shapes.
I see what I miss over here, James, because I used to do this with my lasagna. Yeah, you know the fresh tiger loaf.
Yeah.
And I used to slice that, and I used to make lasagna sandwiches.
So you don't have bread. You don't have bread like in England, do you, over there?
No, it's so shit over here. They have like fucking. Yeah. What's the really cheap white bread they have over here?
Chris Tuttle.
Wonder bread.
It's like fucking sugar.
Yeah. Chris Tuttle kept messaging me when I was putting up pictures of bread from spilt milk. And he's like, I wish they had fucking bread like that over here. And then we were talking about bread. Yeah.
You guys are going to think of, Ben, you're going to probably think this is so gross. But back in the day when I was putting on all my size, I would get, those, you ever go down to the frozen food aisle and you see those big frozen lasagnas?
Oh,
dude, they're like $4. I would get one. I would throw it in the oven in the morning. I would just eat it all day long. That was my fucking cheat day.
Graze on a lasagna.
Just the whole tray of fucking lasagna, man. It was like amazing.
You see that in Costco, do those big
yeah.
So Luke and I used to go and buy like these big trays of whatever.
Yeah. That's how you do it, man. People are thinking too hard.
They're like meatball trays and whatever they do.
Good. I want to know Ian.
Ian, what's your?
Ian's very regimented
man.
Just
asked the answer to this though. I feel like.
Oh no, you're gonna do the cheese tray.
You see, you already fucking knows.
I'm gonna go to the loo.
I'm gonna do the charcuterie board. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh man, some like good, really like strong, nice, special cheeses and some good meats, like some stuff like that in there.
That's
like,
your last meal.
And then I really like soup, like really good soups, like
I like a good soup. I like
some kind of nice bread to dip in the soup. I could get down with that.
Do you like a creamier soup though, like a cream of mushroom or cream of?
Yeah, I mean honestly, I can get down with any soup. Like I really like. What was that one we just had at Jordan's, babe? That butternut squash soup. Like I can get down with that. Yeah.
So you like a thicker soup then?
Have you had broccoli and Stilton soup? That's fucking good.
A long time ago, yes. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
broccoli. Stilton's like a cheese, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have had that. Yeah.
I think I want to say either pizza or McDonald's.
You're so lowbrow.
After I say a fucking charcuterie board and fancy soup, this guy says fucking
okay, I'm low maintenance. No, I'm just joking. Okay, no, honestly, I love a really, really good steak. You know when you go to a really good steakhouse and you get a really I love a good steak. Like I love going to a real steakhouse, not like some bullshit like not some chain place. Like I'm talking like a real fucking steakhouse and getting a really, really good steak with like, some fucking sauteed mushrooms and asparagus.
I hate ordering steak at restaurants.
I love ordering steak at restaurants because I eat a lot of steak at home, but it's never that amazing, right?
Well, I always think I can cook it better, and
I can't cook it better though,
and it's way overpriced.
I can't cook it better, and I can never get the cut that they get at at a good steakhouse. It's like always aged properly, it's cooked properly. It always tastes better than when I do it. So I think a good steak meal, but the whole meal, and then maybe a soup to start.
Yes.
Maybe mashed potatoes on the side, or roast potatoes.
You know what I keep my best starter that my dad and I always get is and James, if you go to like a British pub, they'll have like a toast with a pate, like a chicken liver pate, and like a real good like preserve with it or a chutney. That's fucking.
Hey, speaking of that, so I was talking to the carnivore guy, and he's talking about eating like testicles and brains and shit. Do you guys eat organs?
I have done in the past because I remember having a conversation with Evan.
Yeah, Evan's big on that shit.
Yeah, because they're so nutrient rich. And I remember there was a time where I didn't have a lot of money, and obviously offal and all that is very cheap. You can buy organs for nothing. And there was a period of time where I would supplement some of my like red meat meals with like liver and things like that. It's just when I was a younger guy who didn't have a lot of money.
I used to eat liver quite a bit growing up there.
I think liver is acceptable. I think everybody's had liver, but I mean,
I'd heart, like lamb heart.
I remember seeing chicken hearts at one of those Brazilian steakhouses. They had like they came around with it on the thing.
Yes.
They look like little mushrooms or something. I don't know, but I was like, I couldn't do it.
I always find eating organ meat at a restaurant is much easier than having it at home, preparing it, and making it myself.
I can imagine.
I disconnect from it a little bit,
Mm-hmm. I just bought half a cow from a farm, and I asked them for the organs and I asked them for the bones because I'm going to do the bone broth thing.
That's going to be really nice.
And I'm going to try the organs, but I don't think I'm going to be very successful. I got to be honest.
It's going to be a good YouTube series coming up.
You can make any organ meat taste good with bacon. That's the key.
Wrap it in bacon, you're set. Yeah. If James takes from now until the Olympia 21 and makes the same paced progress he has in the last 12 months consistently the whole time, where do you see him place? I place him at 93 Dorian Yates. That's big, dude. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
Nice. Fucking that'd be nice. We wish that. But I would be interested to hear your three thoughts. You don't have to be nice.
I
think I could do well, but we'll see.
Can we answer that one? But I have one first because
of course.
People gave me shit about a comment I made. And I think you guys would agree with me. So I want you guys to put this to bed.
Go
on. Where do you see... Okay, when you say top tier bodybuilder, where does that, what does that cut off for you guys? Because I think everybody's is different.
What, like at the Olympia, like what number?
Or just in general, when you're talking about the IFBB Pro League, and someone says top tier bodybuilder, what do you consider that?
I say someone that consistently placed in the first call out and that has been in the top three more than once.
Oh, we have a totally different meaning then.
I would say, just for mine and Ian's sake, if you've got a couple of pro wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'm way harder on myself than both of you because I've consistently been in the first call out and I have 2 pro wins and I don't consider myself a top tier bodybuilder.
But
You have been.
No, I haven't been.
Would you not have said you had been at any point?
Nope.
Really?
I have a much harder system than you.
You're like a top 6 thing, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
I think a top tier bodybuilder is. Well, this is the thing. You know what? The interesting thing about this is going to be completely subjective. There's no fucking rule for where the top tier is. But in my mind, like when I was in my prime and through all my years as bodybuilding, the top tier was always the top 6, maybe top 8 at the Olympia.
Yeah. Okay, but take this out and put it into any other sport. If you're saying, any like say Olympic sprinting or anything like that. If you're someone that's qualifying for the Olympics. And you're, say, making it to the semifinals, are you not considering that person a top-tier sprinter?
Yeah, but if you're in the semifinals in the Olympics, that means you're in the top. No, but that means you're in the top 6 at the Olympia. That would be equal.
No, There's eight or nine guys in the final for an Olympics. If you're making it to the semis, you're in the top 16.
Oh no, I don't consider 16th at the Olympia top tier. That's like,
you don't think 16 in a world elite sport is top tier?
Ian.
16 people in the world are better than you, and you're not top tier.
No. We're not talking top tier in people. We're talking top tier in the IFBB, right? Yes.
One and the same.
No, it's not one and the same. Of course, amongst the general population,
I'm saying to general pop.
Okay, but in the IFBB, you have different tiers, right?
Yeah.
I was 16th in my first my Olympia appearance that I had in 2008. Would you have considered me a top tier bodybuilder at that point?
I would have.
Hell no. Hell fucking no. That's
I'd say everyone that's been on the Olympic stage.
Oh my God. You guys standards are so fucking different
when you
than mine.
qualified for that show, you were doing shows and you were like fucking, going toe to toe with Branch and like, Flex.
Yeah.
Like
toe to toe, but losing not when you're losing.
Wait, you had shows where you were like beating Dennis Wolf and shit.
Wait a second. When you lose a show, okay, when you step on stage and everyone goes, that guy's gonna win, everybody else is second. That guy is top tier.
So wait, when like Hottie did Vancouver Pro and smoked everyone, including Nathan, who has been 6th at the Olympia, does that make Nathan not top tier and Hottie top tier?
No, because
that was a very clear.
No, because Nathan's been there, right? So Nathan's been in that top 6 group or top 8 group.
Sure.
So that means he's been a top tier bodybuilder.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But he just got his ass whooped then.
Doesn't matter. It's not a singular thing. It's encompasses your career, right? So like,
I love it.
If you've been in my opinion, if you've been in the top 8 at the Olympia, or top 6, depending on how stringent you want your thing to be, then you're considered top tier. I think a lot of people can come in and be, not a lot of people, but there is a second tier, right? And within the second tier, there are guys that are on the cusp, right? Like there are guys who are right there, who are gonna be top tier, but maybe aren't yet. And then there are guys,
someone like Patrick Moore.
Yeah, Patrick. That's a perfect example. Patrick Moore to me is a second tier bodybuilder. He's not first tier yet, but he's very, very close to breaking into that category.
Here, but then like go to someone like Justin Rodriguez. Is he a second tier as well?
Yes.
Okay. See, I would.
You know why? You know why he's second tier? This is why I'll say it. And none of this is negative, and none of this is insulting.
It's just this is an opinion.
And like I said, it's just my opinion, and I placed myself in the second tier, so I'm not ripping on anybody.
No.
If Justin Rodriguez goes into a show with anybody that's in the top 6 at the Olympia, he loses.
Yeah, see, I guess what I'm considering top tier, like what you consider top tier, I would consider like an elite bodybuilder.
But that's top. But that's top tier. Top is the elite.
Top tier is like guys that are like top contenders, no matter what show they go in. Like someone like James, if he goes into a show, he's going to always be a contender. When you went into shows, you were always generally going to be in the discussion for a win. When I go into a show, I'm generally always in the discussion for a win. I think that puts you in the realm of a top tier. I think when you're talking about top 6 at the Olympian, guys that are like, you're talking about the Bonacks and the Phils, the guys that are like lock in top 6 Olympias, I think you're talking about like the elite. I think top tiers are guys that can qualify for the Olympia, that have won shows, that are consistently, in that running, as contenders like that.
To me, that's we're just using different terminology.
Yeah, you just have to. It's just slightly different.
To me, top tier is elite, right? Like the guy who's in the discussion not to be in the top 6 at the Arnold, but the guy who's in the discussion to win the Arnold. That guy's top tier, right? No one says Justin Rodriguez is going to win the Arnold.
No,
that's not top tier.
If he shows up at any regular season show, he's definitely in the discussion.
That's because he's a second tier. Second tier can win any regular season show. Top tier can win the Arnolds, could win the Olympia.
So yeah, we're saying the same thing. I'm just using different words.
Yeah, we're using different terms.
Yeah,
Ian, we've got to place top 8 at the Olympia to change.
Like I would absolutely not consider myself an elite bodybuilder. I know I'm not a top 6.
So then we're using.
But I would consider myself a top tier bodybuilder, as I would consider you or James.
Okay, so we're just using different terminology.
That's
all it is, right?
Yeah.
And
that's all it is.
I guess your terminology makes sense too. I mean, yes, they are elite, but I just go level 1, level 2, level 3. So elite to me is level 1. That's all it is. So the elite is how Ian will word it. Yeah.
So it's you do see the same. It's just that you like to word top tier differently.
Yeah.
Top tier for you is your elite.
My elite. Yeah.
See, it's not just me that argues with you.
I see top tier when you're saying a tier. I see it being as a more broad spectrum than something like the elite. The elite is something that's very, very small. And when you're talking about someone like the top 6 of the Olympia, that's a very small. I think top tier is a more broad, when you're talking guys, like I said, like, you know, consistently top 3s of shows, are always in the discussion for a win, will qualify for Olympias. Like, you know, this is where I would say someone up to Dexter Jackson, William Bonnet, those are the elite. And then I would say guys like, you know, Cedric and downwards are top tier. You know, like you would consider myself or James or Max Charles or Justin Rodriguez.
See, I put Cedric. I put Cedric in the elite category because Cedric wins.
I only wouldn't because of his consistency, but yeah, sure. That argument could be made. That's a separate.
Yeah, because of Arnold, he won an Arnold.
He can win any show, right?
Yeah, but in mine, see, I would say he's top tier for sure. But I wouldn't say he's an elite. I wouldn't say if he shows up at the Olympia, he's a top 6. Considered.
The guy beat Kai Green. How's he not elite?
But last time he was at the Olympia, he was like 10th and 8th. And
well, consistency is one thing, but you can say he's an elite bodybuilder if he beat Kai Green.
I feel like we're talking of potential rather than fucking what's happening.
That's not potential. That actually happened. He beat Kai Green.
Yeah, but it isn't happening lately.
But you can say now he's not. Maybe his placing.
I'm just saying now. Right now, I don't consider him an elite bodybuilder. Was he when he won the Arnold and stuff like that? And has he had showings that were elite level showings? Absolutely.
Wait a minute, but now we're saying you're only as good as your last placing.
Well, no, I think it's most recent, most consistent.
Why are you laughing, James? That's not fair. That's not fair.
I just love how we go into the hole so much.
I think it's most recent, most consistent. I think if you had an awesome showing in 2013, that doesn't make you an elite bodybuilder in 2020.
So you don't get to keep your status. You just get shit on. You're like, fuck you, you suck now.
Well, no, but I think he's had elite showings and he's been an elite bodybuilder. Do I think he is currently an elite bodybuilder? No.
No, you're right about that. But if somebody said, in a broad speaking term,
of his career,
is Cedric an elite bodybuader?
In a total of his career, yes.
In a broad speaking term, yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm just saying. I think guys, when you're going to like an Akeem or guys like that, I think those are top tier. And then I think when you get into like the guys like
just for the record, I still don't agree with you, but you are making sense.
Yeah. But then when I think you get to guys like,
I see the smirk on your face, Ben.
Like who would we consider like a second tier after the first tier? You know,
you are a second tier. That's That's not an insult.
No.
Because
but in Ian's mindset, we're trying to think of what's second tier.
But I don't understand why have this category elite. Like there's top tier, and then there's
sure. Then I can change my elite to top tier. It makes no difference. Yeah.
Right. It makes no difference, right? Like Ben, why did you mute your shit?
The train.
I want to know what you think. You're very silent in this whole conversation.
Just saying the same thing.
Yeah, we are saying the same thing.
That's why I'm laughing, because when we had the deadlift argument,
we were saying the same thing,
and it was just amusing. That's why I keep smirking, because I'm like, you're both agreeing, but your terminology, your definition of
I just have a hard time putting in my mind, like when I think of things outside of bodybuilding, you know, if I'm thinking of a guy that's like, you know,
well, think about race car driving, right? Race car driving, you'd do the same thing. You'd have the
UFC, right? The number one ranked guy is not the champion.
Yeah, but wait, go back to race car driving. Okay, so there's only 20 guys who race in Formula One. That's it. There's 20. There's not 21. There's 20. Do you think that some of those guys are not top tier?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I would say
because out of that 20, there's probably 4 or 5 that are consistently winning most of the races.
Yeah, man. I'm like Ian, because to even have got there, you've got to be top tier.
If you're one of the top 20 drivers and in the world, and you're one of the people that are so elite that you're making it to a Formula One team, you're a top tier driver, no matter what, in my mind.
Do you know what it is? Fouad just has really high standards.
Maybe that's why I was never happy with my career.
It's true.
I think we're talking about two sides of the same square here. Because I think, I don't think that someone that's at that level, like I wouldn't consider someone qualifying for an Olympia a second tier bodybuilder. Like that seems like a word that's not.
But you're saying it in a negative way, and I'm not.
No, I know that, but I just think that is a top tier bodybuilder. I just think that the top guys are the elite bodybuilders. So.
Like if we take fighting, right, Ben? If we take fighting, in my opinion, like let's take the light. Well, I know you don't watch fighting, James, so I'm sorry, but if you take,
I'm sorry, yeah.
If you took the lightweight division in MMA, I would consider the top 5 in that class the top tier, and that's how most people think of it. Oh, I fought a top 5 fighter, right? And then I would take 5 to 10 as a second tier.
Oh, see, I would consider anyone the top 10 as a top
but that's
tier.
not how fighters think of it.
I don't know. They
no, look at Leon. Look at Leon. Look at Leon Edwards.
A lot of them want a ranked opponent. It's the difference between ranked and unranked.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, Ben. Ben, that's not true, because when Leon Edwards trying to get a contract, he wants to fight a top 5 guy. They consistently say
whoa. You're saying 2 different things. You're saying top 5 guy versus top tier. There's 2 separate things. See, I would consider top 5 tier elite, but I would say top 10, which is ranked, is top tier.
It's the same
but it's
thing.
not. It is, but it's not all at the same time. Because I think if you're a ranked guy in the UFC,
you've just labeled it.
In the planet, you're a fighter.
Wait a minute, you just labeled it a different thing.
I know.
Elite and top tier is like, now the guys who are in the top tier, which is like the guy that's 7th, knows he's not in the top tier, because the top tier is elite.
Second tier,
but like a tier system, typically a tier system is slightly a larger system than elite. I feel so. I would agree that top 10 at the Olympia are all top tier.
Yeah.
So you guys are telling me I was a top tier bodybuilder this whole time? I didn't even know it.
Did you get top 10? What was your highest place in an Olympia?
I only placed once. I was last at the Olympia once.
Okay, whoa.
Okay.
But, you've won 2 pro shows. You beat significant amount of really top guys. I mean, you were the top bodybuilder in Canada for a significant amount of time. I mean, how is that not a top tier bodybuilder?
Well, because my rating system is different than yours.
You weren't an elite bodybuilder.
Because it's just I wasn't an elite bodybuilder.
I think we're going to do this for us.
So this is just a boy. He just wants us to tell him how good he is.
Yeah.
Oh, you are top tier, Fouad.
No, man, that's absolutely not true. Because even after this is done, I'm still gonna log off and go, I was a second tier bodybuilder. That's just how
I think that's because you just know that you could have been better.
No, that's not why. It's because I don't consider myself on a level with William Bonac, Brandon Curry.
But then that comes down to what your perception of them is. That's what I'm saying. Like Ian,
it comes down to what it becomes down to.
They're elite.
It comes down to my labeling system.
I think they're legendary status. There's like legendary status.
No, I think legendary is above elite to me.
Well, there you go. So
another.
There you go. So we're just introducing new classes every.
Well, it is, because legendary to me is the guy that the fair weather fans even know about. And like,
if you win Olympias and Arnolds.
Yeah, like 20 years down the road, someone still goes, "Oh yeah, I remember fucking Lee Haney." That's legendary status.
Yeah, I would look at it like this. I would say you're won Olympias or multiple shows, like Arnold's or Olympias. You're legendary status. If you're placing consistently top 6, you're an elite bodybuilder. If you're qualifying for Olympias or winning shows on a semi-regular, you're a top tier bodybuilder.
Yeah,
if you're a guy that's like,
I'm going with that.
If you're a guy that's like, hey, you get the odd first call out, you might be 3rd or 4th in the show here and there. You sometimes the odd second call out, middle of second call out, like a guy like I don't want to use his name, but like Raphael or Regan, I would consider those very top of the second tier bodybuilders.
Yeah, you're getting compared consistently to the winners. Right?
Yes. You're getting compared consistently to the winners, but you're not quite top tier.
Wait a minute. Regan's consistently in the first call out.
Okay, well then he would be a top tier, sure. But he's never won a show.
I don't like your rating system.
I just think a tier, like James said, I think a tier needs to be more broad than just 6 guys, you know?
Yeah. You can't just have 6 people.
A tier is a level, which isn't just like a few select guys. It's like
that's a club.
We are saying the exact same thing.
100%. 100%.
I
don't like your terminology.
My definition my definition of elite is top tier. That's the thing.
You're saying that I don't like your terminology. You should change it. Because I want to be a top tier bodybuilder. Call me a top tier bodybuilder.
But that's what that guy was saying. He's like, I bet you James and Ian wouldn't think what you're saying is right. And I'm like, Actually, I think you guys agree with me now. We were just saying different words because
you guys.
So
we say we don't think we're the best.
you guys wouldn't put yourself in that elite category yet.
No, certainly not.
So we're all on the same page then.
No,
yeah, just
but like I think all three of us here have actually.
Fuck you, Ben.
All three of us here have won 2 pro shows, so we're all very similar here. I think we were all are top tier bodybuilders. I don't think any of us are elite bodybuilders.
And we're all as good as Sean Ray.
We're all better.
Yeah.
Sean Ray's only won 2 shows, so
better people than Sean Ray.
Well,
yeah, but I won the New York Pro, so I'm better than all of them.
Did you guys see?
Yeah, you won a big show.
That's true.
I cover this side of the planet. You can leave Europe and Britain to me. Yeah, American stuff's not my kind of cup of tea.
I beat Dennis Wolf though. That's got to fucking mean something.
Yeah, you beat
now you want fucking credit.
Hey, Ian's fucking throwing out fucking stats. I gotta.
And that you beat Dennis Wolf, and Dennis Wolf was absolutely an elite bodybuilder. So that puts you as a top tier bodybuilder.
That was like an 80% Dennis Wolf, though. In fairness to Dennis Wolf.
Okay,
he was off.
He didn't even lose hair. He didn't even lose hair that day.
Yeah, he didn't do his hair that day. You're right.
I know. It was like that.
He's like, I'm only competing against Fouad.
Yeah.
Just get out of bed.
No gel or nothing.
He didn't even have the courtesy to do his hair for me. What the fuck?
Okay. I did the British finals against James. That's my highest accolade.
Paul says that to me. Paul's like, I beat Ben Pekulski.
Did he really?
He did, Paul. It's like his second show or something like that. He beat Ben.
That's funny.
Okay. Anyway,
I can do one more question. I got to roll.
Wait a minute. Okay, you can run. We got to go back to the James question because that's how this all started.
Oh, I don't want to talk about me. Fuck that. We'll talk about you like you're not here.
Okay. So next year with a full year, where do I think James falls? I think worst place 8th, best place 5th.
I like that.
That sounds pretty reasonable.
I'm going with that because I'm going to be confident, and I think
if some of the top guys are really on, they could push him down to like a 7th, 8th. I think if he has a really good showing, and some of the top guys that are consistently in top 6 are not at 100, he could be a 5th, 6th.
And where do you put yourself in that mix as well?
Me?
Around the same, surely.
I don't know. I need to step on stage with James more recently to have
Ben.
We do. Me and Ian need to come and have our so we can see where we're But we're both going to have that progression state.
I'm pretty sure Patrick's going to keep you away from each other, right?
I mean, you can until the Olympia, and then you can't. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
5th or 8th, eh? 5th, between 5th and 8th.
I've said to Patrick I want top 6. Yeah, and I know it sounds crazy. I know people will be like, "You're nuts."
It doesn't sound crazy. It doesn't sound crazy. If you want the truth, James, I was just thinking, I had 4th in my head. I had 4th in my head.
Because if you want me to be 100% honest, I see it like this. I think if Phil, Brandon, Hottie, and Bonac, I think are the only guys that would give you a rough go. But even Bonac, I think because of size and conditioning, you could out him. Maybe if he's on the smaller side.
And remember, we're thinking. Just want listeners think we're talking hypothetically in a year.
Yeah,
we're not saying now.
No, we're talking about 21. Yeah,
I think anyone after that, I think any of the Cedrics, or guys down from there, you can absolutely beat. Yes.
I really appreciate it.
I think a Cedric. I think an older Dexter. I think a Rolly that's not at 100% condition. I think any of those guys that you can absolutely beat. Yes.
I think sometimes it's hard to overcome the name.
And that's why I was saying, I think
when you said
where those guys are. Yeah.
When you said Rolly, it hit me because I'm like, when Rolly's off, James could beat him, and maybe even if he's on by next year.
Well, Rudy's but Rudy's not. You take someone like Bonac. Bonac's very consistent, right?
Yeah.
Rudy is the hit or miss.
No, but my point wasn't necessarily about physique. My point was the powers that be have to go. It's almost subconscious where they have to go.
Rolly Winkler,
Yeah, that's Rolly Winkler. How can we let James is still new?
Yeah.
And it's almost like you have to push him a little bit before you could tip him over.
Of course.
It comes with time. It comes.
Like what I'm saying is, let's say next year, this is my point. Let's say Rolly's 5th next year, right? And James is 6th.
Mm-hmm.
James may look better than Rolly, but it might take 1 year of pushing on the door before he gets through.
I agree.
Right?
But Luke walked in and beat Rudy at the Arnold.
That's
true. Yeah.
And it really wasn't bad at that. He still looked right.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying in bodybuilding, usually it takes a nudge.
People can agree or disagree. I think the Arnold gives more opportunity to newcomers than the Olympia.
I feel that
100%.
I think the Olympia is a very and I hate to say this because I don't want to make a knock on the judging. I think there's more of like a old boys club thing to the Olympia, where the Arnold I think is like they'll invite guys like Luke. Like Luke, his pro debut was the fucking Arnold, you know. So I mean, I think they'll give those opportunities to the fresh faces. And they want to see them succeed on a big stage like that, and that's a good like kind of vault for them. I think the Olympia is more of an old boys club than that.
I'll give you that, and you know what? It's funny because I think the Night of Champions used to be that show.
I agree.
They used to let people come into the Night of Champions and knock off a bigger name, but they wouldn't let them do it at the Olympia.
Yes.
And I think now the Arnold is that way. It's a little bit more like, yeah, you can beat a big name at the Arnold, like when Cedric beat Kai.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cedric would have beat Kai at the Olympia.
You wouldn't have.
Right?
Even if they looked the exact same, I think I would have beat him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ian, you got to go?
Yeah, I got a massage, so.
Okay, brother.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Okay, man.
Take care, buddy.
Take it easy, brother.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to do a couple more before we go, or you want to wrap up?
Yeah, I was just very stoked with Ian putting such a nice comment at the end there for me. I thought that was really
I love how typically British and polite you were, where you caveated it with why this is hypothetical.
I know, but because in my head I've said to Patrick top 6, and he said yes, and I don't expect the world to think that or anybody. So
James,
when people say it, it's quite nice.
This is why I say top tier, right? This is going back to that for 1 second.
We're going fucking
no.
man.
Yeah, now that Ian isn't here, I can fucking I can win.
Fuck.
No. This is why I say it. I consider you on that doorstep.
That's how you get there.
Right? Because the reason I'm saying that is because when I looked at the Spain and when I looked at the British, it was you. Like when we were doing the breakdowns for it and we were doing the commentary for it, it was James is going to win. Where's everybody else at?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by top tier is when you have a guy who's like obviously the guy that every time he enters a show, okay, who's second place?
Yeah.
To me, that's top tier. So if you take that and you put it towards the Olympia the way I did before was I always said top 6. If you're a guy who can walk into any show and win, there's no reason why you can't be at the top 6 at the Olympia.
Yeah.
So I don't think Ian just blowing smoke up your ass. I think it makes a lot of sense what he's saying.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's all motivation, gentlemen. It's all motivation.
Okay, let's do a couple more and then we'll favorite chocolate bar. What's your favorite chocolate bar?
Lion Bar.
I like a dairy milk, like a Cadbury's dairy milk whole nut.
Those are pretty good.
If it's got nut in it.
What's a Lion Bar?
What have you not had a Lion Bar?
No.
Oh,
what's it like? What's it like? It's like
caramelly wafer
peanut
covered
butter.
in.
Oh, it sounds pretty good.
Is it peanut butter? Is
the peanut butter one only? Does it normally have peanut butter in it as well?
No, they do a peanut butter version, but
okay, the Lion Bars are very, very good. Very
good.
good.
Lion Bar. It's got some marshmallow in it. It's got wafer marshmallow. Good caramel.
I'm kind of boring. I'm like a Reese's Pieces.
I'm not a Reese's guy.
That's that side of the water.
Kit Kat.
Everyone here.
Reese's is super like bikini girls, competitors, and American.
Bikini girls love them. Kit Kat do a really good one. Kit Kat Gold, which is actually a caramelized version.
They make a Kit Kat cookies and cream now. That's fucking really good.
I bet that's good.
I tell you what, I do like a good old fashioned fruit and nut.
No, I can't do fruit.
Nut, yeah.
I can't do fruit and chocolate together. They don't work.
The
raisin and nut together is really, really good.
Like the Yorkie do that raisin. The Yorkie raisin one. That's
the purple packet. The purple packet. Yeah, they do. That's a really good one. I like chocolate to be slightly refrigerated though, so it's slightly harder.
No. I like it room temp.
I'll eat anything.
Like a Mars bar that's room temperatures. That's like when you buy it.
I like there to be a little bit of a challenge. I like it to kind of not disappear too quick.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I had one of these. When was it? When Denise came to London, I got her. You know those munchies, the packet of munchies.
Yeah.
They're kind of like Rolos, right? So they're individual.
They're square. They're square instead.
Oh my god, I haven't had those since I was about 15, and we found a packet in like a little sweet shop. Oh,
brilliant!
It was good.
This
is like a diet. This is like a prep kind of food thing again.
The thing is, I'm hungry now. So I will end up ordering something. You fuckers.
If you had one movie star other than The Rock to take and make into an IFBB pro, who would you pick and why?
I wouldn't even pick The Rock anyway. I don't think.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Michael J. White.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Michael J. White's got genetics.
Yeah.
Spawn.
I gotta fucking piss.
You do that. We're going to discuss.
You guys talk.
So I say Michael J. White because he's genetics are crazy.
I'm trying to think. Who's the guy that does the new Rocky films?
Oh,
Jordan, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, he's got really good genetics. Like if you look at him in Black Panther when he's the Killmonger.
Yes. Yeah.
So he is potentially there, isn't he? You beef him up on top of that normal, that frame.
Put him on a little cycle and a little Tom Hardy Bane cycle and bulk him up.
Oh mate, yeah, a little bit of Tess Decker and Tins of Tuna. I think he'll be all right.
I love that. He wasn't taking Anadrol as well, Tom Hardy, for that.
Probably was. I don't know.
He said his buddy was making him carry him up and down the stairs. Well, that might have been for what's the other film he did where he's
Warrior.
No. The one where he's the prison, the famous inmate. Bronson. And he was like really beefed up in that and bulked up.
The thing is, he's a really small guy in real life, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like 5'8" and really small.
Yeah.
But in Bane, he looks like a fucking rig.
But the thing is, they've got him. He wears like high heel boots on that, doesn't
he? Yeah.
So they did that because obviously Christian Bale's taller. But yeah, interesting. Christian Bale was a lump actually in Batman Begins. The first one.
Hey, do you know if Jamie finished that 20K challenge?
He must have, surely. I spoke to him today, but he didn't say anything about it.
Do you think he did it?
That pizza he had was huge.
Yeah.
Jamie doesn't mess around.
If anyone can do it, Jamie can.
So I got to tell you guys, I want to try it again because I'm annoyed that I didn't do it the first time, and I think I can do it.
Oh, I want to do it.
Do you not have health issues right now?
Well, that's why I'm not doing it, because I feel like a whole
cholesterol will not handle it.
I feel like a whole bunch of people online are going to be like, "Oh, you're so stupid, you're going to die," and I'm like, "Fuck."
Well, what we should do is, the burger I did with Larry Wills, me and Larry and a couple of others. It was Europe's biggest burger. We did that.
I didn't see that.
It was on Uniland.
That was fucking huge, that burger.
We should do that. We should do that because even though it's a lockdown over here, I'm pretty sure that if you film stuff like that, they'd let you in.
Yeah. Well, you're coming here. And Ben,
exactly.
When are you going to be able to leave there, Ben?
I'm going to Olympia.
No, I mean leave the country.
Oh, when I've got my papers.
How long is that?
I don't know, because they've suspended all immigration right now.
Everything's on pause, isn't it? Everything's on pause. That's why we can't even. They've cancelled all flights from the UK to anywhere right now, apart from Dubai. The only place you can go right now from the UK is Dubai.
Yeah, they were discussing. Because I was talking to my mum about this. That they're potentially looking at doing a fast track test at Heathrow Airport. So it's a 30-minute.
I heard that.
And you can pay. It's obviously they're going to charge you for a fucking premium.
So it'd be like 200 quid probably, like plus.
Yeah, and it's like 30 minutes, and if you pass it, they'll let you fly out of the country.
But the problem is the US isn't letting anyone in, is it?
Yeah, that's the country that you're going to has to accept that test, and they haven't got that.
I've been looking on the internet, like thinking to myself, me and Alex just fuck off for like 4 days, but there's no way you can go.
Yeah.
Does this episode suck?
No, I like it. You just you feel it does.
You ask me this after every fucking podcast.
Me and Luke used to ask each other that after every episode. Like, does this suck? This sucks, doesn't it?
Do you know when Fouad gets to the end of an episode, he gets a little bit of a come down.
Yeah,
and I know
it starts off good, and
it's because Ian's disappeared. So it's kind of like, it's not. There's a voice. There's one man down. Shit.
No, it's not. It's not why. Because I start to analyze the episode.
No, don't listen. That's what you're doing wrong. This is when you're coming to the end of the episode. That's all it is. So you need to just breathe.
I overanalyze.
It's like your bodybuilding career, right?
I overanalyze everything.
You're analyzing it, and now you're thinking it's shit and putting yourself as a tier 2.
You've raised some good. If you look at the back into this episode, you've raised some very good points in this.
This is an elite level podcast, and you're.
It's because Fouad has such high expectancies of himself. That's all it is.
I do though. But I have to.
You do, but it's just don't worry. We'll tell you.
But I think it's important. Yeah, I mean,
we'll look after you. We're here for you as well.
I think it's important to have high standards, man.
Oh, of course. You can't be like lazy fuck who just.
I think it's. Listen, I think I don't like to do things I'm not good at. I know that's a really bad thing to say, but like, if I was a shit bodybuilder, I wouldn't have. Some people like. They compete.
Is this a dig at me?
No,
motherfucker.
Listen, Ben, you've said this before. Ben, you've said this before. Guys who are like quit their jobs and they fucking compete over and over and over and over and over, and they never get anywhere. They're just the same like level 1 bodybuilding show, and they've quit everything in their life. Like, I would have stopped. Like, I gave myself a deadline at 27. I'm like, okay, if I don't turn pro this year, I'm fucking out.
Oh, of course. But that's like, listen, if you were putting out episodes of this podcast and it had 10 views, then I think you would have done the same.
But that's the same thing. Like, if the podcast was only getting like a fucking 500 views of fucking show, I'd be like, fuck it, I don't want to do it anymore.
Get out. Was too, yeah.
Same thing with the supplement company. Like, if I put out the supplements and people are like, these supplements are shit, like,
exactly.
You know, so it's like I'm always analyzing like how to fix.
Yes.
Right. So, but I think
you look ahead. You actually look ahead before you finished what you're currently on.
Yeah, I don't know if is that a good thing or a fault.
No, I think maybe just sometimes just finish and then
enjoy the moment.
Finish what you're doing right now and then.
I don't know how to do that, Ben.
Yeah, I know.
I've never, and you know what's fucked up? I promised myself after my bodybuilding career was done,
you would do that.
I swear to God, James, because this is kind of like my new thing is this podcast, and I'm like, I promised myself I would not let my anxiety interrupt the podcast, and I also promised myself I would enjoy anything that came from it, and I'm not doing either one. Because
your the way you're wired as a human carries over into anything you put effort into. Because you're putting effort into this, and there's passion, there's desire, there's love, there's, you know, those same things that you might consider flaws, which aren't flaws because you did well in bodybuilding, are always going to be present to a certain extent because they're what made you successful. So it's just about understanding that that's part of who you are.
If you were if you're truly satisfied with who you are and everything that is, you're never going to push yourself, right?
Exactly.
But shouldn't you? Isn't there a happy medium somewhere where you're like?
I don't think there is. Think there is, mate.
No, there is a point at where you can appreciate where you're at.
The happy medium is when you talk to the people that are the fans and you realize the effect you're having on them. So when you come away from this, and then you look through the comments and you look through the positive ones, and you see that people are touched by what you do, that's when you take the moment to be like, you know what, I'm glad I did that.
It's when you
during it. There's anxiety during anything. You know, prepping for a show during is the worst thing ever.
The best one is when you put up that post with you and Summer at dinner.
Yeah.
That's the payoff, right? That's where you sit back and reflect and pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
And
also though, with that post, majority of the people that probably commented and said that you're a lovely couple are aware of you because of these efforts you're making now. So it all does pay off.
Yeah. It just it's fucked up, man. It never feels like enough. And guys, whoever's listening, please don't DM me and write a whole bunch. Oh, you're great. I'm not looking for that. That's not.
No. This is our conversation.
I'm having an open. I just want to have an open conversation because I know there's other people listening that feel the same. Like no matter what they're doing, it's not enough, and they should be doing more.
Yeah.
And they're never like quite satisfied with what they've put out.
I think that mentality can be a positive, but it can be toxic. And it's a continuum, right? It's like you can use that in a positive way, but then there are some people that let it consume them and they're never satisfied and they're never, ever, it becomes detrimental, you know?
I feel like this conversation is where it's important that's where it's important to have friends and family. Like when I feel that way is when I would probably speak to one of you guys or Patrick and just bounce off and just do what friends are meant to do, talk and understand where you're at. Because we don't have the answers as one person. Yeah. We have to talk to other people. We have to understand because sometimes we get a little bit lost in ourselves because we're so one-track minded. So
you know what?
By having all of us talk is definitely the way to go. I feel.
You know what I think is a good reset for me is like if I go see my mom. So my mom's alone now because my father's passed. So you know, me and my brothers go visit her from time to time, and it's like when I go there, I've stepped out of my bodybuilding self, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like you have
you're the son again.
Yeah,
son again. Like
so it's almost like I can step out and then I can see everything else from the outside in.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
It's almost like certain things trigger like the off button.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that. I felt like the other day, like Fouad, I went to obviously my mum's plot for the first time. And even though I wasn't there for very long, it was a massive reset, and it was a really nice one.
You know, it's funny you said that. When I go to my dad's gravesite sometimes, and is it weird how like you kind of, I don't want to say you're talking to them, but I guess you are. I don't know.
I spoke out loud. I did. I just spoke out loud like she was fucking there. I was just like,
okay,
I didn't even try. I didn't know it was normal.
So I'm not weird. So okay, but isn't it weird? Like, it's almost like you can take stock of what's going on in your life because you're explaining to them. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, because they're just it's just I don't know. It's just the role of who they were in your life. There's just something about a parent.
No, I'm not
one person.
But what I'm talking about is being able to get out of that. Like, okay, when I'm at home or I'm at the gym or when I'm with Summer, all I'm thinking about is what do we have to do next?
Yeah, but that's because like you are the adult. You're in control. But when you're even in the presence of,
I see what you're saying.
I feel like suddenly the role of changes, even though they may not be there physically. You're now not the oldest in the room. You're not the one in control. And for a moment, you're speaking to them, wanting to understand what to do from someone you look up to almost. I don't know. That's how I feel. I kind of feel like I'm able to breathe for a second because the weight goes off of my shoulders. And I'm not saying it goes onto theirs, but
yeah.
They're a parent, and the parent is always the person of power. So you don't feel so heavy. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel.
Ben, what's your trigger to turn it off? Like turn off the constant like work focus.
Right now, it's
your son.
And Denise. So she's really good at listening to me. My mom, her and my mom are very similar in the way that they receive my offload.
Yeah.
And they don't try to fix my problem. Like as I'm going, I need to do this, and I'll just start, and they just allow me to basically therapy myself, and then justify everything, work backwards, and then everything starts falling back into place again, and it smooths out. Yeah. And I've spoken to Denise for an hour straight, and all she's done is just sit there and nodded and looked at me, and I've just chatted at her, right?
It's enough, isn't it?
Yeah, and then recently I go, like, we'll watch a series. We watch The Boys on Amazon, and I just put my phone, I put it on silent. I put everything off so that there's no notifications coming in. There's no shit coming in, and we have that family bubble again where I'm nobody other than just
watching the show.
I'm just there with them, because I find, you guys, we were talking about with Luke, where your phone's just got a constant feed of this and that and coming in, and I'm like, I've got clients, I've got none, like these guys are competing this weekend, and then my own food, and then this and that and going on. It's chaos if you don't just step back every now and then and go. And it's difficult to, I have to force it, right? I have to force myself to relax, like turn it off, and I go, oh fuck, my phone's going to be going off, and I have to, and then there's that, and then there's my mum. If I FaceTime my mum, it's the same thing you guys are talking about. It's the parent thing again. But Denise I can have that with her as well. That's one way.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more. Then we'll wrap up. I'm just gonna swipe through and see where it lands.
Random roulette.
Biggest drama or beef in your bodybuilding history?
Oh, I'm not even gonna say about last week.
What happened last week?
What?
What happened last week? I got called a dickhead.
Did I fight with somebody?
No, I did. I got called a dickhead for making a comment.
About
another. That's probably the only thing that's ever happened to me where I'm like, really? You haven't?
Yeah. What was it, Ben?
I'm not putting that on.
Don't bring it up again.
Okay, all right.
Ben made a statement.
I'll tell you off air.
We'll get it. I'll get this one. I'll get this one in private then. Yeah.
It just shows you how some bodybuilders can be babies. Even
I haven't had it. Biggest drama. I don't know if I really had people I don't like. No, I just don't like them. Like I don't like Sean Ray.
Yeah, you're very apparent. You don't hide it, do you?
Yeah, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't know. Me and Ben didn't get along when I competed, but we're fine now. I don't fucking know. I don't really have any drama or beef with anybody.
What about Greg
Doucette?
It's kind of mutual, isn't it? Like, you kind of boost each other a bit. It's not, I would say it's a bad.
Well, I don't care. It's not my flavor of show, like not my flavor of channel. Like, but if that's what you do, and people like watching it and you're successful,
I tell you,
it's great.
You have got a new goal to aim at. I was watching Joe Rogan.
Can I finish that thought on that? I have no ill feelings toward Greg as a person. I don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want that to be that misconstrued. It's not my taste.
Flavor. It's not your flavor. It's like you said.
Yeah,
it's
not like my channel is about like
a certain way. And
my channel is made to expose. Like, look, when I had Mark Hector on, even yesterday, I had listened to this was crazy to me. I had Cedric on. The guy has 600,000 followers, and there was a number of people in the comment section going, "I had no idea Cedric was this funny." I'm like, that's the best thing about Cedric.
Well, that's what the Redcon were trying to do with him. They were like, hey, you have a huge personality and you just don't put it out.
So my purpose of my channel is to bring out people like Mark Hector that people don't know, or let people see, like when Luke was on, it was to let people see Luke's personality. Like
that's right. Yeah.
So it's to brighten things up. And I feel like some other channels are made to
focus on.
They're a darker thing, and that's not my taste. That's all. So
I agree.
But James, you don't have any beef with anybody in the IFBB, do you?
Not really, no.
You and some had a rivalry, but it wasn't beef, right? No,
but I did say before, he said something shitty about me to Ian, which pissed me off. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You know,
it's weird how outside of America, bodybuilders like me and Ben had that little rivalry. But it's because we're both from Canada, and then maybe now you and Samson, because you're both from the UK. Like, how come American bodybuilders don't have this thing? Where like American bodybuilders
it's too big. It's too many states.
They do it at the amateur level. It gets fucking
Anyway,
and I've never really I don't think I've really had anything. I kind of, because I respect people, so they don't really go up me.
All right. Okay, guys, let's wrap up. Yeah, I'm starving. Okay, let's wrap up. We'll get back together next week. And yeah, that's it. It's
Peace.
A weird one today.
It was good. No, it was good. Don't over evaluate.
Just put it out, Fouad.
Okay. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Definitely.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.